everybody, and welcome to I Sell Comics, broadcasting from the home of the comic book men. Jay and Silent Bob's Secret Stash. My name is Ming Chen.
Howdy, Ming.
Sitting across from me, Mr. Mike Zapsik.
What's happening, Ming?
Hello, welcome back, everybody, after a long absence.
Look who dragged himself back in. Ming Chen.
That's right.
Mr. Con Man.
That's right. Mike did 2 out of 3. I did 3 out of 3. Brian Johnson did 3 out of 3.
He did. He was He's a marathon man.
Brian Johnson outlasted you. Now
that's
all relative.
It is all, and that's why I missed it, because of my relatives.
Yes, you did. Family obligations.
Family's always a big thing.
Family always comes first.
Sure.
And I hope it all worked out for you, Mike. We missed you.
Thank you very much. You know what? Awesome Con sounded like it lived up to its name.
Yeah, let me give you a quick rundown. 3 weeks ago, we started at Atlantic City Boardwalk Con.
We were there.
Back in our hometown. Then we went over to Houston.
Planet Houston.
Yes, Planet Houston, Comic Palooza.
Pretty cool.
4-day con, one of our favorites.
Yep, great people.
Would you say the same?
I love Comic Palooza.
Yes.
I mean, the people there, and one of the coolest tweets I've ever gotten was thanks to Mike and Ming for being yet again
and Brian.
And Brian for being the life of the party.
Yes. Now we're talking a con with Stan Lee.
We're talking
Chloe Bennett,
Haley Atwell,
Sting,
Kobe Smulders. Not the Sting that sings.
No.
Let's put it. It's Sting the wrestler.
Yeah.
So there was upon the fields of barley. No, not at all. We didn't walk in fields of gold. That's for damn sure.
I'm sorry, I'm saying Sting. All right, and then lastly,
actually, that's the Police, but with Sting. All right, that's fine.
And lastly, we finished out the 3-week grueling con tour. Washington.
You and Brian went to Washington to Awesome Con.
Yes, and it lived up to its name.
That's excellent. I had family obligations. We interred my father. We buried his remains, his mortal remains.
Was he cremated?
He was cremated.
And where did he want his ashes spread? Or did you bury the ashes?
We buried the ashes right next to my mother.
All right, he didn't ask you to spread them over like Chase Stadium?
No. See, that shit's illegal.
Is it?
And I'm really bummed that my father wouldn't let me do that. Break the law one more time for him. Actually, my stepmother, who I really didn't get along with towards the end of her life.
Okay.
She was cremated and wanted her ashes spread in the Navesink River.
Okay.
And the Marine Police came and busted the people who were trying to do it. So
you can't do it.
No, you're not. Are you kidding? You're littering.
All right, but we're back now. When we come back with a bang.
Yes, we do.
And so we have special guests, surrounded by friends.
We have
surrounded by old friends, surrounded by old great friends.
Yeah,
we're welcome to come back. Where do we start, Mike?
Start with on your left.
Well, basically, the Blue Juice guys are back.
The Blue Juice guys.
Starting my left.
The boys are back in town.
Yes, the one, the only, the amazing Tim Yates.
You're too kind.
Timothy Yates.
No, you're
Kubrick School graduate and badass.
Kubrick,
one of those
not
things
Kubrick.
Is true. One of those things is true.
Kubrick.
The Kubrick School.
Yes.
The Kubert School.
Graduate.
Thanks for having me back.
Valedictorian of the Kubrick School.
Kubert.
You've still said one.
Not Kubrick. Kubert School.
All right, valedictorian of that school too.
Kubrick.
You know what?
Yeah.
Stanley Kubrick he's like, I didn't have a fucking school. And that kid didn't give me any money.
He's
so
back. You may
he's
know
saying
him.
he's a graduate?
Right.
He's a liar.
This is escalating.
Yeah, you may know him from numerous cons, or you may know him from the numerous Blue Juice productions. The Accelerators.
Including the Accelerators.
And
Bonnie.
Bonnie.
Yes. Welcome, Tim. Welcome back.
Thank you, Ming. Thank you.
Good
It's
to
a
see
pleasure
you.
to be here. Good to see you, too. It's been a while.
It's good to see you.
Always good to see you.
Full beard, challenging Brian Johnson.
Yeah.
What?
No.
And
no.
again, you're dragging Brian into this for some strange reason.
I have no idea.
I have no idea why you do that either.
I have no idea.
Brian's somewhere cringing going, Ming's calling out my name again.
Yeah. But
And I know he is.
and sitting to Mike's left, my right, Blue Juice royalty, Mr. Ronnie Porto is
Hello,
back.
Ronnie.
Turn it on. Flip it on. There you go.
I'm back. I'm here.
Yes.
It took all of my effort not to jump in about 5 times already.
Yeah. Fan favorite, Ronnie Porto, by
Well,
the
listen,
way.
I wish I went to the Kubrick school.
Yeah, the Kubrick. I would love to go to the Kubrick school, too.
Kubrick, it's like, I guess Kubert is like Kubert meets Kubrick.
Yes.
It's
The
like
Kubrick.
Yeah.
The Kubrick school.
Sounds like a pretty cool place.
Yeah.
I did go to school, but I didn't learn anything there that actually applies to what I
Right.
do. which is okay.
I think we all did. I went to cooking school, so and you don't see me.
Yeah, but you make a hell of a sandwich.
Yeah, you don't see me
As seen on
flipping
TV.
eggs right here. I'm not doing it. So
But
we all.
That applies to real life, though.
yes.
It does. Well, great. Then I'm Mr. Home Ec. That's me.
Writer,
the home ec
writer,
school.
badass, member of the Comic Book Man production team, and more importantly, friend.
Yeah, this has been a reunion, long time coming. Actually, this is ridiculously the first time we're seeing each other this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is an insult, and it's
6
my
months.
fault.
It is your fault.
It's how is it
It's
your fault?
it's because he was supposed to come out. We were supposed to go out in when was it? Was it March that we went to?
When you were in the city.
We were in the city and we were at the podcast.
the Podfest. That was January. Yes.
Yeah. He was supposed to come and
I
see
ditched
us.
that one.
You ditched
I
us.
ditched that one, and I ditched. There was a shadow of a chance that I would be at Atlantic City.
Yes.
And
okay.
that didn't happen.
Yeah.
I'm one flake out after another. It's my defining characteristic.
Bowl of Frosted Flakes over here.
Yeah, listen, we do what we can. We do what we can to stay friends, but mostly you guys are doing the heavy lifting. Basically, you have to threaten to put microphones in front of us
You're
to
a
get
busy
us out of here.
man. I mean, let's keep in mind you're the only one at this table with representation.
We'll start calling you. We'll start calling you.
an agent, if you will.
Listen, they don't put my name in the letterhead. It's not like I'm not Sterling Cooper, Bordeaux Draper, or whatever.
Still,
You know, but it's nice to be homeboys.
yes,
Head and
nice to be
Shoulders. We'll start calling you Head and Shoulders.
yes, and also to my right, the beautiful, the talented, the wonderful, the star of Comic Book Men season 5 episode.
Season 5.
I'm sorry, season 4.
4. Holy Christ.
episode
man.
4. Super baby.
You've been out drinking? You've been
Always.
drinking? Holy
Drank
crap.
a lot this
He's
weekend.
only said one thing.
Yeah.
about
Super
me,
baby.
too.
Kari.
I know.
Hi.
Kari Kubrick.
Kari Kubrick is back.
Kari,
Hello.
Kari Kubrick.
Kari
Yes,
Kubrick
I
is.
also
Hello.
attended the Kubrick school.
Kubrick School.
Yes. Hello, Kari. How are you?
Hello,
I'm
Kari.
doing
the
well.
Kubrick
How are you?
Yes. Did I not attach enough mics? We missed.
You did not. We're missing
Very
one, but that's
much,
all
we're-
right.
I
shoot,
didn't even
happy.
realize.
Yeah, it's
We're
fine.
double micing over here.
That's all right.
No, I got another one. Hold on. Keep talking. I can.
All right.
Mike,
Like I can.
Mike,
I
where's
can-
the magic box back there?
That's right
There should
over
be
here.
there should be a blue mic in there. And,
And, well,
I'm going to hand it over to Tim so you can.
if we have a mic building second, let me just say, I think it's a terrible idea to try to drag Brian Johnson anywhere. By the way, this is a dangerous, hazardous event.
I've told him that many a time, and
He doesn't like being dragged.
no, he does not.
He doesn't like being carried.
Doesn't like being
As is his
told.
right.
He only likes being touched by very select individuals.
That's true, and I ain't want him, so
I feel
I don't drag
privileged
him anywhere.
to be allowed to shake his hand.
Listen,
I have touched Brian Johnson.
yeah, and you don't know where that hand's been. Okay, so
right.
be careful at your own risk.
And yet again, we're dragging Brian Johnson. You just dragged him into.
I thought that I meant to be putting him down.
You're not you're putting him down,
and-
like putting
I
him
was
down.
If it was necessary to get him out of the conversation, I would.
That's
He
fine.
would understand.
No, we're
he
good.
would. He wouldn't hesitate to put me down.
That's right. That's true.
We died. Everything died.
Hold on. Yeah.
no, it's just there.
There we
go.
go.
I got a loose
Attaboy.
wire here. All right,
Welcome
Kari,
back.
Kari,
Loose
say
wire.
something, Kari.
Hello.
All right, that's good. There we go.
Beautiful.
Back to the
All right,
ISO.
now back to. Hey, let's talk about comics before we do anything.
All right, there was only one comic this week that I actually want to talk about. I went by the comic book rack, saw a hardcover in there,
Right.
and it was called. Was it the Book of Regrettable Superheroes?
Yes, the League of Regrettable
The League of Regrettable
Superheroes.
Superheroes. I'm like, what's this? And
This
Walt,
is a phenomenal book.
Walt was like, this is awesome. So explain what this book is.
League of it's. I mean, the title says it all. This is one book you can judge by the cover. This is the League. It starts in the golden age of comic books. There were some really, really, and pardon my French, but there were some really fucking shitty superheroes out there.
So even shittier than say Stiltman.
Even
Or
well,
Puck.
he was a super villain, but actually, there, yeah, there's a
Puck has some fans still in this universe.
there.
right?
Actually, we saw a cosplaying Puck.
Yeah.
down in
I think it was Atlantic City.
Atlantic
I
City.
laughed. It made me so happy.
It was awesome.
Documented.
No,
Was Puck a little person, the cosplayer?
no, he was about 5'4".
Yeah, and not husky.
He was husky,
He was husky.
and he was hairy.
Perfect.
He was hairy.
So
which
he was
built for it.
You
perfect.
need those three elements for
Husky,
for-
hairy, and
Yeah.
not major league tall.
An inch or two short to be Wolverine, but
no, he's
right in the Puck sweet spot.
He was
Wolverine's got a six-pack, I believe, in the comics. Puck does not.
Yeah.
Puck
to
is,
be- yeah.
Puck is round.
Puck's got the dad bod.
Yeah.
Or he's got more.
He's
of a
got. He
dad
looks
bod.
like a thumb.
He does look like a thumb.
He's
that's
if you
that's the
look at your
PG-13
thumb.
version of
Yeah.
it.
Put a little beard on it.
And a
That's
big,
Puck.
And a big P. You got Puck.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
that's a
Especially if you're Italian and you got them hairs coming out of the knuckle.
yeah.
Beautiful.
That's Puck.
And he-
That's perfect to a T right there. Good job, Mike.
And
Thank
he knows how to knock down a bunch of bad guys like they're bowling pins.
Yes.
And booze.
Yeah,
Knock down a lot of
exactly.
booze.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, he's Canadian. Canadians
Yeah, of
like
course.
their alcohol.
Like their alcohol, like their poutine.
Yeah. So who's more regrettable than say Puck, Mike?
I would. Do you want me to go grab the book? Because I can name a couple. There are some really kick-ass,
you remember-
horrible.
You remember any of the top of your head? I remember Dr. Hormone.
There's Dr. Hormone. Oh God, Dr. Hormone, and that was his God-given name.
Wait, explain it to me like I'm a little child. So
There's a 1941. They come out with Dr. Hormone.
This is like
And
the
he's-
birds and the bees.
He's an elderly man who has, for his entire life, studied the effects of hormones on people. And he's on his deathbed and he pops a pill, which transforms him into a 25-year-old full of vim and vitality. And he goes on adventures with his granddaughter. And I think her name is Jennifer or something. Jennifer Hormone. So you would hope that, you had like a girl who would have married somebody and
So
taken
he's-
another name.
If the family name is Hormone, you kind of know where this is going.
Yeah, seriously. Yeah.
So he's not exactly blessed with a superpower. He just took drugs.
Well, when you think about it, there's a whole shitload of superheroes who took drugs. Captain America took drugs.
True. Okay. Good
So-
point.
He's
good
a
point. I
yeah.
can't look. and I
He's a
don't-
juicer. He's a juicer.
He's steroids.
Good thing special
He's a
mention out of a
roider.
bottle.
He's a total Mark McGuire.
Yeah, exactly. Performance enhancing drugs. I mean, Howard Stark really was the father of the juicing.
And if you bend it a little bit, even like Daredevil, there's some substance.
Oh, sure.
Some
I
substance
wouldn't
involved.
say that
He's not an
necessarily.
abuser. He's not an abuser.
No, it was
No.
unintentional. He went blind, for God's sakes. But
Well, actually, Dr. Midnight, they shot him full of this dope and they put him out in a car. And he lost his eyesight because he was in a car accident.
Luke Cage experiments, right?
Well, then that should have to go with just about anybody. Because, I mean, when there's a difference between, shooting yourself up with, heroin and having someone, pour shit on top of you. There's just a little slightly different.
But wait, but on which one of those sides do you put Captain America?
He was,
He volunteered.
he volunteered. So he's,
Juicer.
yeah.
Definitely juicer.
I would put the Hulk in there. Then that's
The Hulk is the juicer, but Daredevil's not a juicer. He got caught in the blast, man.
well, no, he got smacked in the eyes.
yeah, it was
No,
unintentional.
I mean the Hulk though.
Oh, the Hulk,
The
yeah, he
Hulk
did
got
get-
caught in the blast.
that's
It depends. There's lots of different versions of these.
Yeah.
Of these
That's true.
characters,
And the Fantastic Four were also, they volunteered for what they were doing.
Superman, kind of like a solar therapy type deal.
He's a tanner. He's a
That's
tanner.
kind of like, I don't know. He's
So it all boils down to
a
intent.
Valley High bitch.
Superman didn't intend it. Bruce Banner did do it. Did bring it on himself.
No, only if you believe the Bill Bixby bullshit. So
Okay.
Yeah. The comics, he gets. He's building a
blasted,
gamma bomb.
that's right.
But
Yeah.
he did build that gamma bomb.
yeah, it's his own fault.
But he's saving a kid. He's getting
Right.
run out to the blast radius.
That's like, well, I mean, how ridiculous is Reed Richards? It's like, all right, we're gonna go up into space. My old high school or my old college roommate.
Yeah, come
He's
on,
a
you
test
wanna-
pilot.
yeah, you
Come on,
wanna-
we'll do that. But
You gotta-
hey, you know what? Let me be really irresponsible and bring my my girlfriend and her little brother because
Right.
we couldn't get a fucking babysitter.
Yeah. Hey, want to come take a ride?
Yeah, seriously. Yeah,
Nothing could go wrong.
Yeah.
there's we're
Yeah.
good.
He just wants to fill up a car.
That's pretty much. He wants to get that's exactly it. He's going to the drive-in. He's going to pay a full price, so he wants to fill up those seats.
I don't know if he counts as a juicer, but he definitely gets the sloppy award.
Yeah, that's pretty. That's
Dumbest smart
arrogant.
guy. Dumbest smart guy award.
Yeah, that was really stupid.
Yeah. Which
Oh,
is,
and Bruce Banner. I mean, Bruce is pretty fucking stupid. too.
at least Bruce, there was a plan that would have kept everyone safe, and he made an audible call at the very last second to do some good.
Well, hold on. Here's the audible. He trusted a dude named Ivan.
Yeah. Well,
You know, and
Hey, listen, is it-
dog, come on, doctor. I will stop that. It is no problem for you. You know, sure, I'm gonna trust that guy.
listen, Russians were evil. Everyone knew it but him. But
Exactly.
still, they're all better now, except for Putin.
Yeah. Thank you, Vladimir Putin.
I don't know. I think that, and I think that the fact that they keep making Reed Richards younger actually helps, like in
Yeah.
it can persistently make him younger with these origin stories. Part of that is to explain this dumbass
How
move.
irresponsible.
Yes, because it is irresponsible, and you know that's that kind of stuff. I mean, because back in the day, right at Fantastic 401, he's smoking a pipe, which is, you know, Einstein smoked a pipe.
Right, sure.
Yeah,
That's wise people smoke
Yeah,
pipes.
he's got flecks of gray at his temples. That means he
Yes.
thinks hard.
He's the professor from Gilligan's Island. He's smart at everything. No, he's really not.
Yeah, he's terrible at carpooling.
Yeah.
Yeah, put people in direct danger. Not so cool.
$1 an hour and 2 popsicles out of the freezer. That's what the going rate for a babysitter is. All you got to do.
Yeah, now other people featured in this book, Fat Man.
There's Fat Man, the human flying saucer.
Is that
Yeah.
the subtitle? Okay.
Yeah.
So he's
There's Nelvana, our old friend Nelvana from Canada,
Yes.
who has ties to Puck.
Right. There's Phantoma.
Oh my God. This was actually, I read a little bit about this. This was a guy named Hank something. He was a comics creator and he was deeply, deeply disturbed, but he was pretty fucking spot on with his comic creating. And he created Phantoma, and there was another. Phantoma was, she was like an omnipotent Sheena of the jungle. And she would think up these creative ways of fucking with people. Like, you're a
So
poacher.
a villain.
The villains. Oh, you're a poacher. Well, guess what? I'm going to turn you into like one of these creatures that live under the ground and eat mud. And that's what you're going to do for the rest of your life. You'll never see the sunlight again.
Kalima?
That's like, yeah, exactly.
Kalima.
right.
You won't.
But she had a sense of justice. That's
Yes, that's that. Well, the Spectre did too back in the 40s.
Yeah, I'm not defending her.
No,
I'm just trying to get my facts straight.
I'll
I don't know
defend
any.
her.
I don't know any of these.
She's all right.
These are all new to me.
Yeah.
Here's another one. Bozo the Iron Man.
Yeah, he was the
Wow.
the very first robot superhero. Bozo the super robot.
Bozo the super
Of all
robot.
the names for like a robot, Bozo.
They had Funny Man. I swear to God, by Siegel and Schuster.
I gotta look.
They created. Hold on one second. Keep reading, Ming.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go
we
grab the
need to see
book.
You go get the book?
People.
All right.
I'm gonna take a look at this book. But
Okay.
But wait. Here's my question.
Okay.
Here's my question.
Ask away, my friend.
At the time of their creation,
Yes.
did they acknowledge how ridiculous some of these things were? No, Bozo the Iron Man was never intimidating.
No, and
To
he doesn't
anyone.
look intimidating.
Yeah.
You'll see it in 2 seconds as Mike grabs the book and
So-
runs it back over here.
So what is the impulse here? Is the impulse parody? Are they?
I don't think this is parody. I think they're just trying to appeal to children. Who,
Okay, so
Maybe they were trying to like get certain. You know how like there's like public service announcements of like the time period. Maybe some of these superheroes
we talking about?
were created for
Talking
like
about Bozo the
those
Iron
types
Man.
of things like Hormone Man.
I'll give you. Yeah.
There we go. Hold
Maybe,
on.
you know,
I'll
like
give you
this
that.
is how we'll get to the kids. We'll create
Phantoma.
somebody.
All right, there's Dr.
does this.
Vampire. One murder will not conceal another. There you go. Doll Man. Doll Man's still around.
I can tell already who's my favorite just from looking at the cover. The Eye.
Yeah, the
Why
Eye.
didn't anybody tell me about the Eye?
Yeah.
Well, it's just the eye. All right, this
that is a
dude's
good one.
name was Fletcher Hanks.
This is Phantoma.
Phantoma. And she preceded Wonder Woman by more than a year. She's the first female superhero in comics. She was animal protecting, resource preserving, leopard skin clad jungle queens.
Sounds awesome.
He's legendary. Fletcher Hanks, legendary and notorious figure in comicdom, having produced the entirety of a strange, alarming, and unpredictable catalog of stories in a brief 3-year period before vanishing from the medium. His comics were typified both by bold, stiff, yet informal artwork that recalled woodcut prints and by stories in which near omnipotent protagonists devised cruel and Byzantine punishments for their enemies. He's, it's pretty cool because he did something else. Where is that other thing? There's Kangaroo Man, by the way.
Oh,
And then and then shortly after having this totally surreal
Here you go.
spurt, he fled the scene and disappeared from comics.
His other creation was Stardust, the Super Wizard.
See, now that's a good name.
that's a
Yeah.
good name.
I like
Stardust,
that.
the Super Wizard.
That's a great name, especially, of course, kids want to meet
Yeah.
somebody called the
Well,
Super
I-
Wizard.
Take a look at this costume, though. I mean, and look at those. That's how he flies with his ass cheeks clenched. So that's
Well, aside from the
hands
Well,
to
you don't want
sides.
anything. You don't want anything like flying in there. You're flying at high rates of speed. You know,
and
there are birds flying around. You don't want. You know.
you're in the
Also not
vacuum of
blocking
space,
his-
man.
Oh,
man.
well,
So
okay.
don't
you
worry
just don't
about
want
it.
anything in there.
So okay, wait. So can I roll it all the way back for a second?
Sure.
So getting back to me being a little child,
Okay.
this is. It's not just a collection of comics; it's a history book.
It is.
This is, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. It's a comic history book that is really like the B-sides.
Yes.
Oh my God, this comes from quality comics.
I need
Yeah, unless
I
you
need
think
this
these are
knowledge.
no-name writers and creators. We're talking, these are regrettable creations from such people as Jack Kirby, Joe Simon.
I wouldn't say Jack Kirby's in here, is he? There's Captain Tootsie,
No, it says
created by C.C. Beck.
and Otto Binder, who created the original Captain Marvel. So
Yeah.
these are names here. Steve Ditko's in there. Siegel and Schuster.
A little bit later on.
They
There's the clown. I'm giving away free passes. Here's yours, buddy. What a great
I'm just saying,
tagline.
and
Look
you're
at that.
and-
Clown. That's terrifying.
That is
The
terrifying.
art is amazing on a lot of these.
Here's Dr. Harmon.
Yeah, I'm just saying, in your work and mine, we don't always hit home runs. We swing and miss a couple
Exactly.
times.
All right.
And so these are the strikeouts.
Why do we swing, Bruce? Why do we fall?
Why do we fall, Master Bruce?
These are the swings and misses of the
Funny
comic
man.
book
There you
art.
go. Look at that dude. How awesome is he?
And as such, they should be documented. So go to your local store. Come to Jamestown Bob Secret Strategy. Pick up your copy of the League of Regrettable Superheroes.
Brain Boy. Tell you what. Let's go to. Here we go. This is Zippo. This is Giddim's.
Not Zippy, but Zippo.
No, Zippo.
All right.
Wow.
He's like
Pierre
a-
Rice.
He's like a failed prototype for a Marx brother.
Oh my God, he is. He's. But look at those. Look at those things on his feet.
Oh,
He's basically got roller skates. That's his thing.
He doesn't do fire though. He's not like the lighter.
No.
What's on
no,
top
he,
of his head then? That's not a.
That's what I thought. As
That's
soon
not
as
a
he,
wick.
he said Zippo. He's got a helmet. He takes
Oh my
the helmet
God,
off
what the
and
hell
his
is that
head-
on his head?
Maybe
That's what I'm wondering. Is he a rhinoceros? Is he?
maybe the lighter was inspired by this guy. Who knows where these words come
Yeah,
from?
I know.
Yeah.
There's no way.
No,
This is old.
that's-
This is
I'm just
history.
curious about that helmet.
it's just a
ridiculous.
helmet.
Why is no one telling me about the eye?
Yeah.
There's a floating
Well,
eye.
we're
on
trying
We're
to-
It's
saving
called
the
the
best for
eye.
last.
Yeah, we're trying to sell you this book, dude. So
I'm
you
ready.
want-
I'm ready. Close the deal.
I'm already
Close the
sold.
deal, Ming.
I was told that regrettable.
Do you want me to skip over Dynamite Thor? All right, fine.
not Thor, as Car's wearing a Thor shirt.
we've spotted
but
the eye.
Dynamite Thor. Dynamite.
The Eye. An actual living, speaking, crime-fighting, disembodied, floating giant eyeball.
Yeah.
That's what he was.
Of course.
He had a dozen appearances. The eye, vanished as mysteriously as it debuted. And never once had an origin been so much as hinted at. Then again, what kind of origin could explain the eye? Had it been a man bitten by a radioactive eye?
The pic-
Was the eye
know
rocketed from a doomed planet, its only survivor? Did an eye burst through a brooding billionaire's library window, inspiring him to fight crime? I think we're better off not knowing. Wow, that's and here we go.
what we
Going
know
on
is
the
this-
Silver Age, Brain Boy, Brother Power the Geek.
This is-
Wanna Beast.
Wanna Beast.
Here's Captain Marvel, but
So different.
Not what you
no,
think.
it's the Captain Marvel by Carl Burgos and Roger Elwood.
Oh.
And where
This
is
is this is Marvel Comics or DC? or
Fly
something?
By Night Comics, MF Enterprises, and yeah, it lived up to its name.
Is there a company called Fly By Night Comics?
No, it was a Fly By Nights comic
was it?
company named MF Enterprises.
Okay.
Yep.
We should start that, dude.
Oh my
Fly By
God.
Night Comics.
So we can assume that this Captain Marvel died in some kind of a
Horrible
horrible copyright
Oh,
battle.
We're
horrible.
hoping.
Perhaps
Horrible.
a
He
trademark
folded
dispute.
after less than a
accident.
year. Yeah, it was awful. And his superpower was he could split. He could split and have his
like a very limber dancer. You mean?
no, he could his arms fly off and
Oh,
legs.
he
he got- he
literally
gets-
like
Literally
pops apart
every-
at the seams.
Yeah, all of
Wow.
his limbs detach, and they
had a dream
move
like
independent
that.
of him.
Interesting.
Independent
His
of
power
him.
is being drawn and quartered, Kari.
I guess, yeah. And I was thinking, I think the eye may only be missing because it's closed.
Yeah, well, I was thinking maybe
Maybe.
could the Eye be a sequel to Captain Marvel in which
Yeah,
or a
he
prequel.
lost a horrible battle? Yeah, maybe he grew from that one.
Right, it's like the Iron
an
Giant.
eye.
He gets put into pieces and they try to get back together.
Exactly.
Well,
he's,
somebody
he's
who's-
not a gun, by the way.
Right. No, he's not. So thank you, John Morris, for writing this book.
Nice.
Pick it up at your
Mr.
local
Muscles,
store.
Nature Boy. Oh my God! Created by Jerry Siegel and John Buscema.
Yes. Wow. These are luminaries. You know, you don't
Nature
always,
Boy, let her rip. Oh my
you don't
God.
always
That's a
hit,
great
or
tagline.
you know, people from
let her rip. All right, there
people
you
from
go.
above ask for things, and you can't. You know, you got to do them. Well, this is what happens. So this is what happens when you know. And I say they probably hit more than they miss, or maybe they missed more than they hit. We don't know. But people only remember the hits.
AAU
They're in
superstar.
grade right now,
Yeah,
so,
I'll, let me
what does
say,
it matter? They're right there.
in defense of all of these ideas,
Yes.
I truly believe that you have to have 100 bad ideas to have a good one.
Yes.
And I think that even the worst ideas, there is a possibility of making them
Totally.
You know, Jeff Johns made a lot of the stupider Flash villains very cool.
Absolutely.
I love them.
Look,
Love that.
all I have to think of is Mr. Freeze in the animated Batman series. Like,
Oh, yeah,
come
absolutely.
on, like that's how you make art out of something that should never have happened in the first place.
That's how you make art out of shit.
Yeah, but these guys are obviously doing crazy fast turnarounds. They're delivering.
Yes.
They're delivering
I need an idea on my desk tomorrow.
exactly. Yeah, I need to. No, it's more. I
Yesterday.
bet with whatever you call fly by night MF Comics. You know, I bet you would. I can imagine these writers being asked or the artists being asked to make sure you have somebody new. We need a new character by after lunch.
Yeah, well, hold on, we got a creator right here.
Yeah,
Do you
exactly.
have any regrettable characters that you may have come up with, even if you did it when you were younger, that you're like,
Don't do it, Tim. Don't
Yeah,
tell them because you
yeah,
know
but
what?
I kind of love them all. I
Yeah.
mean,
Don't kill your babies. Don't you dare. Don't you dare kill your old babies.
I mean, are there any that are like that'll never see the
I
light
can't
of
think.
day?
I'll start thinking back into my. I repress a lot of things, so I got to start. I got to start digging up.
That's
my past.
healthy.
I can embarrass myself if you want to.
All right, go for it. Go for it. I'll start thinking.
So I had a monster character that I was obsessed with. It's a lot for. I was never an artist, and so for me to try to draw my character
Right.
was a big deal. Now this is like elementary school,
Okay.
or whatever. And my monster's name was Gargledorf.
Okay,
Which is awesome.
it's like Dumbledore, you know, not so
This is-
or Gargamel, or not so.
So Gargledorf had like stone pants.
Okay.
He had like rock pants.
Okay.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Kind of like reverse Thor,
got a winner so
reverse
far.
thing, but okay.
I just figured like if you're tough, you wear rocks.
sure.
You know, it made a lot.
Why the
it made
hell
a-
not?
I still kind of believe it.
It's true. It's true.
so-
Only tough people wear rocks.
That's true.
I never actually figured out anything, and this is how you know he's a bad character.
Okay.
I never actually figured out anything substantial about Gargledorf, except that he was furious all the time, and that everyone who knew him wanted nothing to do with him.
Okay.
Mostly because of property damage.
so it's Brian Johnson all
with
over
stone
again.
underwear.
Yes. With,
So really, like all of the stories that I would
Sorry,
try to
Brian.
write, it would all end up with they would all just end up with him. It was total. I was riffing on the Hulk. You know, he would go on a rampage.
Yeah.
Everybody would get super pissed.
Because he blew everything.
Exactly.
He
Yeah.
messed
yeah,
everything up.
yeah.
Right? He just destroyed
Yeah.
everything.
But there was no tragedy there. There was no like it's
no gravitas.
Yeah, not
What,
even close.
Who's your model for this? Did you have an angry drunk uncle or something? Or
I don't know. I think Tim's over there repressing something. Maybe.
Yeah.
rocks. Wait, rocks.
I'm from a family of Jersey Italians, so we
Sure.
specialize in the drunk uncle.
Okay,
Right.
cool.
Okay.
All right.
I had I'd say probably like the big inspiration was the neighbor down the street that would like chase us off his property.
okay.
When like all the neighborhood kids, we were such bad kids, we would run up and down the block and like
sure.
break into people's backyards and like
Yeah.
steal tools from their tool shed and stuff like that and play with them in the street. And I remember this one guy when I accidentally crashed my bike into the back of his incredibly old shitty car
Mm-hmm.
and really shattered like all of the lights. and I flew up on the back trunk of
Right,
the car and like
sure.
immediately rolled off and like grabbed my bike and ran away.
Yeah.
And he came out I mean, in a rage.
All right,
And-
Gargledor.
yeah, he came out
throwing
full
on
Gargledorf.
his stone pants.
Yeah, he might have even said Gargledorf.
Gargledorf.
Yeah. And I do definitely remember this guy watering his plants in a pair of disgusting underwear. And so that could have been the
Oh,
inspiration
I
for
don't
the
know if there's
stone
a
for the
could.
stone pants.
I don't know.
Ming Chen, armchair psychologist over there.
I think we just found Gargledorf. All right.
So, but the real point of the story is that I can come up with shitty characters all fucking day long. It's my specialty.
See, that's not even that bad. Like, I can
Just get him a motivation.
Except that he doesn't have defining characteristics,
but that
personality,
could
or
easily be turned
backstory.
into a good character. What you told us doesn't make him a bad character. It's that you haven't fleshed him out. I mean,
I'm surprised that there's not
Not
a
a winner
2-issue Convergent series named.
Gargledorf.
There is a
The
winner
accelerators
behind
meet Gargledorf.
Gargledorf.
Gotta have green
Gargledorf
cover.
the monster.
Yeah, exactly. Chip Kid. Actually, Arlen Schumer is doing the cover for that one. There you go.
No, Mike had one too. Didn't you have a character called Wormhole?
Yeah, it was actually pretty
Good name.
Great name.
Good name.
And he looked like he was a dwarf because he was sort of like
A gargle dwarf?
A gargle dwarf. I love it. He was a
Good.
little
It's so
person.
good. How could you think
And
that's bad?
he was scarred. He could jump from reality to reality, but every time he traveled by wormhole, it would scar him. He'd actually get burned. So
So he would he get like Deadpool deformed
Yeah.
at some point? Okay, he'd get bad.
Yeah.
It got ugly. Okay, but he started out.
but he healed, yeah.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
was-
he healed. Okay, so he wasn't like a hideous creature to behold all the time.
Not at the
But if he
beginning.
jumped around too much,
Yeah.
okay, I got
He was like a Morlock, and he kept moving from dimension to dimension, so he was never home. He was trying to get home, and he'd go to a dimension where Benedict Arnold was on the $1 bill, or Barack Obama was on the 10 spot.
Well, any kind of sliders type, time period or dimension hopping story, I'm a fan of.
There you go.
I'm with you there.
So that would have been actually. I fleshed that out kind of well, except he was a thief, but he was a shitty thief because whenever he stole something, he'd have to take it to the next dimension
To sell it.
Well, no, he couldn't control where he was going, so he's like, oh crap, I'm in a dimension where diamonds are bullshit.
Did you read that comic from a couple years ago, Razzle?
No.
I think it's Jeff Smith, right? Razzle?
believe so, yes.
Yeah.
Okay. No, I didn't.
That comic, which is pretty fucking good.
RAZL, right?
Yeah, RASL.
RASL. That's right.
So actually graduates that exact same premise
No
to
kidding.
like the world of fairly sophisticated,
Oh, okay,
like comic
cool.
storytelling. Like he's a dimension hopping art thief.
Oh, cool.
Who will like steal art and then jump to the next dimension
Yeah.
and hawk it. And then sometimes things start to go wrong and he starts to realize people are like chasing him from other dimensions and stuff like that.
Interdimensional art thief. I like that.
It's not bad. And he kind
Yeah,
of
it
looks
sounds
like
awesome.
he kind of looks like a caveman, like with a pretty face.
So somebody stole my idea. Sons of bitches.
They're always going to get you. That's the thing.
Sorry, dude.
Every time.
The danger of recognizing that one of your ideas is probably not great and you're going to let it go is that eventually somebody's probably going to make money off of an idea just like that.
Of
So you're
course,
going to
yeah.
you're going to
Get it-
find a
do
reason
it-
to hate yourself.
Yeah, get it there. Get to it quick.
No, you can't because you're like, I gotta kill that baby. Gotta
Yeah.
kill it.
Right.
There's no right answer, guys.
Yeah.
You just got to keep doing stuff.
All right.
But I do believe that you need to come up with ideas constantly
Well,
to come up with a good one.
Yeah. So you save your babies for when you've killed a few.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't care how deep I am into a story, like, how long we've been doing accelerators, whatever,
Been 3
3
years.
years at this point. Yeah, exactly. So it doesn't matter how deep I'm in that or if I'm in another project. Every morning I force myself to generate a new film or comic book concept. Like, as it's like a fact. Like, if I do not.
Every morning?
Minimum one. Like, it's really true.
Wow.
Like I'm not saying I'm going to write it, but you have to do that. You have to get really comfortable with that idea of like having the first beginning thought.
That's incredible, though.
You've got to do it. And they're all terrible. Like
Like this morning, for example, Ronnie came up with Pat Parker War Nurse.
this is not a
Okay.
regrettable superhero. This is actually what I came up with. This
All right, and what is Warner's? What are we going to see on the
We
silver
haven't
screen
got
one
a
day?
Cossack horses, but we have got our Yank duck. Let's go. Whatever the hell that means. I have no idea. Do you read
Patty,
that?
that's a very
Pat
wordy
Parker
tagline.
War Nurse.
Pat Parker War
Wow,
Nurse.
I I hesitate to ask you your inspiration for this, Ronnie, but
No, I'm kidding. It's actually a credible
It's,
superhero.
it's part of the league.
I actually really liked the story I came up with this morning was about a boxer. I swear I do this every morning.
Okay.
It was about a boxer who
I want to see your notebook.
Is he a fighter by his trade?
I burn through them constantly.
That's insane. I can't even imagine it. But go on. Sorry.
Okay, so this morning was I think I called it.
hold on, before we do, you're giving this away.
Yeah.
Saying-
Guys, anybody can take this.
Okay.
You're welcome to it. Let everybody write it, and
All right,
we'll
so
see who's best.
we'll preface this with coming next from creator.
Guys, it's not that
comic book
good.
artist
It's not
Tim
that
Yates.
good.
Yo, don't say
So,
it
Ronnie,
ain't
pitch my
that
next
good
project. Go
because
for
it's
it.
by a boxer.
So he's an ex-boxer
Oh, an
because
ex-boxer.
and I called it punching bag in a notebook. Who knows? If that's a good title or
awesome.
not. But he's an ex-boxer who had to throw a fight for a gangster, right?
Okay.
So the gangster made him throw a fight, and it like broke his spirit. He made money off the fight, and the gangster like still considers him a friend, but it ruined him, and he became like the laughing stock of the town. He's the guy who never got anything. His kids don't respect him. His wife left him. All that stuff like that, right?
Okay.
And now, it's just a boring story, but what are you going to do? You got to do it every day. So the guy gets called back by the gangster who wants him to take another fall for him.
Yeah.
He wants him to,
Throw another fight.
no.
No.
Well, now he's not a boxer anymore. He wants
Oh.
him to go down for a crime. So say he did a crime.
Oh,
he
okay.
didn't do.
Well, okay.
Yeah. Because the gangster is in with a bunch of crooked cops
Right.
and they need a fall guy. And the gangster doesn't know what they need a fall guy for, but he's in with these crooked cops. So they call the boxer over, and he's like, "Okay, I got this fall guy for you. What do you need him for?" And the cops say, "We need him to be the fall guy for killing you."
Okay.
And the crooked cops kill the gangster, and now the guy has to go on the run from the crooked cops who have framed him for killing the guy that he had a great reason to kill.
Yes. And the gangster's cronies are also after him.
Yeah, and actually, and this is where you just got to stop writing at some point and just take a fucking shower.
Well, the way you end it is to find a way for him to not throw a fight and knock the guy out.
Well, there's definitely going to be some knocking out going on. He's going to get his groove back and get his punch back. But actually, I was getting deep into this thing about like, and the gangster had a son who's actually a good cop, who's like, you just do
Right.
this shit and you're like, oh yeah, this is a pretty fucking boring story.
Right.
And you stop.
That's Hollywood busting in and making you change everything.
I don't know. That sounds like a good story to me. I like those kinds of stories.
You see, the point is you get it out of your system, and you know what? It's in a notebook somewhere. And there's a couple good little kernels in there, and I'm going to recycle them one day in something that's really, really good.
I mean, that
I
could
don't
be
know.
that could be a good character in another
Exactly.
idea. Like you can
Exactly.
just mix them up.
Yeah, I never fail to be amazed at the way that Game of Thrones manages to have they have more going on in like the thrown away backstories of like characters that like somebody will make a little speech about for 30 seconds than most movies have in the plot of the movie.
Right.
And it's
Rings
just
of
like
Castamere.
yeah, exactly. You really feel like this guy, George R. R. Martin, just like dumped every single idea he ever had and just is like, no, there's a place for it somewhere. We'll get it in there. And so I feel like if you can find a world that is big enough to hold all of your stories, then then you're really being efficient. Then,
Like Stephen King.
but Stephen King just writes them all as stories. He's, Stephen King's a special case. None of the rules that I will ever say about writing apply to Stephen King.
Isn't that pathetic?
He makes his own rules.
I know it's very true, and he's allowed to get away with whatever the hell he wants to.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you something. George R. R. Martin. He was a comic book fan. I don't know if you knew that he was in he wrote a letter to Fantastic Four. I think it was number 17, and it got printed. George R. Martin is in there. He's like, you know what? Make mine Marvel. Yeah, the whole-
Of course he's a comic fan, right? It makes so much sense. Yeah. I would imagine him as being like a Conan reader or something.
He was an FF fan, and he was at the forefront of the Silver Age of comics. I mean, he was one of when they did that. They were the fans. They were anyone who wrote a letter.
The true believers.
They were the mighty Marvel marching society.
Yes.
And he's probably reading them and thinking these all have way too happy endings.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Just nobody died.
Yeah. This family's not nearly dysfunctional enough.
No.
We need some people.
Yeah, we
to
gotta
die.
kill
We need some
some-
weddings.
Yeah. We need more nudity.
weddings.
We need more.
We need
Hey,
more
what's
boobs. More
Sue and
boobs.
Reed doing?
We need more deviant sex.
Okay,
That's
incest
what
in there.
comic books are missing.
It needs incest.
Yes.
It's just
Well, no, there you go. I think Mark Miller took care of that with Wanda and Pietro in the Ultimates. So.
God damn it.
Sack of crap. Yeah,
I don't know if you're talking about Wanda Pietro or Mark Millar.
I'm talking about Mark Miller. I've gone on record as saying I'm not his biggest fan.
I'm not his fan of it.
Yeah, but although I got to say that I did watch Kingsman.
Yes.
Pleasantly surprised.
Great
it was
movie.
a very, very
Tom's
well
favorite
done.
movie. He loves that.
It was a great movie.
Yeah. Tom,
I don't know if it's his favorite, but
I'm sorry. Who
Tom
does?
did like it.
Tom, Mum.
Mum?
Yeah.
Fuck him.
Every
Where is he?
Yeah, he ain't here.
Yeah,
Can't hear. He can
fuck
go
the
fuck
editor in
himself.
chief of Blue Juice
Yeah,
Comics.
Yes,
right,
seriously.
right.
Holy
Co-founder.
Who needs that fucking guy?
he told me to say hi, but I'll
But never mind.
But never mind.
He told me to say hi, but that was like a couple hours.
Yeah, we're sorry.
Yeah, sorry, I forgot.
Yeah. So, did you read any other books? Any other books?
Yes, I read
Okay.
Darth Vader #6.
Okay.
It was fucking kick-ass.
Was it really? That Darth Vader
yeah.
series is
I haven't-
good?
Love that
I gotta
Darth
get that
Vader
on
series.
Comixology.
Oh
I
my!
do too.
You got to get it where? You got to get it at your local comic shop.
Oh, well, okay. I'm
You're
gonna pick
putting
it up- I'm
yourself
gonna pick
out
it
of
up here
business.
At Jay and Silent Bob Sash.
Okay, you can do that. It's been phenomenal
Yeah.
so far. There's 6 in, and
The art's
each
great.
one. Oh, the art
The
is
art's
great.
great.
Salvador La Roca.
Yeah, it's-
La Roca. But I mean, not only that, but it's Vader, and it's Vader, and you find out that the Emperor's pissed at him. The Emperor holds him responsible for the destruction of the Death Star, and he's putting stuff into place.
Now we're between A New Hope and Empire, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
It's correct.
Which is the sweet spot for telling
sure.
small stories.
Yeah.
if you're gonna tell a Vader story, that is the perfect
Yeah.
place because
Everything I've read so far is good.
Yes, he's at his lowest, and when he comes back in Empire, he's at his height. You know, when you see him walking through Hoth, the corridors
Yes.
of Hoth, you're like, that's a bad motherfucker.
Yeah,
And
yeah. He's been through some shit in the last couple of years.
yeah.
Yeah.
He's back
Now-
on top.
And now find out what.
That's
As
good,
chronicled in Darth
And
Vader, the Darth
exactly.
Vader comic
He's-
series by Marvel Comics right now.
Super cool.
So
Yeah, they're
What
doing
is-
great things with that.
Are they releasing new Star Wars titles too? Are there more
and they
coming?
are. It's
Yeah,
regular Star Wars. They've got the Kiwan, the last Padawan. Kanan.
And Princess Leia is a Princess Leia
Leia.
standalone.
I
book
think
as
that
well.
ties into
Yeah.
the new animated series,
And
right?
Lando's
I think
coming
it
out.
does.
Are they doing anything that ties into The Force Awakens at all, or not?
Not yet.
Oh, you know it's coming. You know it's coming.
Oh, it's coming.
You know it's coming.
Yeah.
They
There's no doubt.
They just don't want to, don't want to screw around with it too much. Because remember what happened with the first Star Wars when they did
Go
the
on.
film, when they
Go
did
on.
the comic book adaptation, and they showed you Jabba as a humanoid.
Yeah, well,
Turns out he wasn't a
they didn't
humanoid.
know. They didn't know yet. They
Exactly.
thought he was. They had filmed him in the first movie.
Yeah.
So they just
Exactly.
cut it. They
He was,
left
a,
it
he was
like
a hairy guy. Looked very much like Puck.
Yeah, he was.
Looked kind of like
tall
Sort of
Puck.
looked like Wormhole.
Puck
Yeah,
with a
that's
Han
right.
Solo vest. I
Actually,
believe.
I'm very surprised nobody ever went into those. That first Star Wars that comic series and touched up Jabba the Hutt the way they did in the
No, right.
Actually, Lucas tried to come here with Howard Chaykin. He was taking him from comic shop to comic shop. He's like, all right, erase that out.
doing
Howard.
individual copies.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
and,
had like he's brought these pastel paints with
Yeah.
him. It was really weird.
Jabba the Hutt colored
It was
whiteout.
like
Yeah.
really weird. And I'm like, come on, buddy, get your. Don't take the books out of the board and bag.
Did you guys hear about this crazy thing? Maybe not crazy. Maybe it's obvious. Maybe you talked
Bruce
about
Jenner's a woman. Yeah, I
No,
did
no,
hear
listen,
about that.
listen. Don't start. Don't start.
Too soon.
Wait,
Too soon.
It's too late.
Too late.
Oh,
too
too
late.
late.
That can.
Everything's right and everything's wrong. Let's just let it be.
You'll never get those worms back in the can.
But this thing.
Not according to Dr. Harmon.
So I saw that Marvel was releasing doctored versions of like classic covers of like Secret Wars, and a couple other like major like event covers, and they were digitally removing people like properties that they don't own, like removing Reed Richards from like the Secret Wars cover,
Oh,
and
okay.
and just like rearranging the characters and stuff,
Kind
so
of
that
like a Banksy kind of.
totally. So I saw it on a couple T-shirts. That they had like very carefully like pulled like the X-Men, and
Well, you
and
mean-
Fantastic Four out of the classic lineups of these comic covers.
But Marvel does own them. They just don't own the cinematic universe.
What they're doing is they're basically saying like, we want to promote the characters that we own across
Outright.
the board.
Yeah.
Yeah, that we own in the movie world and in the
crazy.
comic world. And that's why things happen like, I'm sure you guys talk about this, like the fact that they cancel Fantastic Four abruptly.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
nobody admits this, but like it's totally some kind of terrorism.
Oh, sure. They
Like,
want to
against the
market.
movie.
Yeah, they
It's
want to market
subterfuge.
Exactly. Yeah.
movie that they did not own property or rights in.
where the
Yeah.
Which
money
is why Amazing Spider-Man, Sony came in, they're like, all right, we have no fucking clue how to do a good Spider-Man
exactly.
movie. Can you help us out here? And that's why Marvel and Sony, and this would be in Fox's best interest. It's like, we have no clue how to do a
Yeah.
good Fantastic Four
Or
movie.
yeah, exactly.
So why don't you
Time's a
give us
charm.
a hand?
Well,
a little
let's
bit.
see. Let's see how
partner
this one
up.
is. Maybe this one will be okay. Who knows?
No, this one's
Who
gonna
knows?
suck.
Third time's a charm.
No,
Well, fourth
never.
time technically.
Yeah.
There's the Roger Corman.
Oh
one.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a
1990.
there's a really ripe
Have I-
original. There's like a
I haven't even seen that.
there's a. Do you ever see the original Captain America?
1994.
Yes.
It's of that level.
Okay.
And some would
I thought
say,
that was cool.
Not even.
Some would say it's on the level of the Dolph Lundgren Punisher, but I consider the Dolph Lundgren Punisher to be really good. I'm one of the very few fans of that.
You like that?
I think
That's all right.
I think that thing has a lot of class, a lot of style that nobody ever gives it credit for. It's also got a dopey plot and it's really cheap, but there's some great stuff going on there.
Aren't they leaning toward that kid from Hugo?
Is that
That's not locked in. I heard that news. as
They've
if
got
it was-
5 kids that
yeah.
they're.
Yeah.
The last time I heard his name, that people
like
were
that
thinking
kid.
it would be locked in, but they're still
Next week, they said they'll make the.
I love that he's a kid. I love that he's
I
a
do
kid.
too.
That's great. That's
Yeah,
great.
he's-
Make it a
he's best as a high
16,
school.
17-year-old
That's
kid.
right.
Yeah.
It'll tie
As
right
it
into
should
everything
be.
they
Exactly.
Not Tobey Maguire chasing down a school
need to do.
bus.
No, well, it'll finally tie everything in at an age he's supposed to be at.
Yeah.
As opposed to him being
And also
40.
the idea of him, it's pretty awesome to think of like, a 16-year-old kid mixing it up with the Avengers cast.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like that's just gonna cut
He's
a great
good-
silhouette.
He's a good actor. Too. If, what,
What's
if they
that kid's
pick
name?
that kid,
Is
I
that
don't know.
is that Azab Butterfield? Is that him or is that
Asa
somebody
Butterfield.
else?
Asa, yeah.
Asa Butterfield.
Asa Butterfield. that's
That'd
it.
be cool.
I know how to say
Oh,
that.
he'd be good.
I'm
I think he'd
behind
be
that
great.
choice if they go with
Asa.
that.
He was in Enders.
Yeah,
right?
I didn't
Yep.
I didn't like Ender's Game, but I loved him.
Yeah, he was great in
Ender's
Really?
Game,
You
yeah.
weren't.
I wasn't a
liked
fan.
it.
Didn't
No.
like the homophobic bastard.
Oh no, wait!
son
I
of a
love
bitch?
the book. The
Okay.
story is great. I just didn't like the movie
He
adaptation.
was wonderful, though.
It was, some of that stuff fell flat in that movie.
Yeah,
yeah. And then
it's
there's
a tough adaptation.
Didn't it have Harrison Ford?
Yeah,
and
yeah.
and it had Ben Kingsley covered in Maori tattoos,
Okay,
which was
cool.
pretty weird.
Yeah, it was weird.
Yeah, I mean, I saw
Harrison
that the
Ford.
movie was coming out, and I said, "There's no way they're going to turn that into a like."
Get
I
off
can't
my
see it.
space station.
Get off my
Anyway, that's-
get off my space station.
Get off my
Digressing.
space station.
Steven Seagal's in it for like a couple minutes.
Is he really?
Yeah, and then-
Doing what?
No, I'm kidding.
Is he arresting people?
He voiced the part of the
He's Ender.
Fornix. What are they?
He voiced
The Formix.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he voiced the
He
sliding
voiced
door.
Ender. He voiced Ender. Yeah, yeah. That's the limits of his ability. Now,
Door open. Psh.
this idea
Thank you.
that Marvel is like making these intense attempts to like consolidate the universe and like bring the family back together. I think it's pretty interesting. The part where I get creeped out is when it's this thing I'm talking about with like the Secret Wars cover
Right.
is going on, where it's like it's a little bit 1984. It's a little bit like, let's pretend there never was a Fantastic Four until we own it again.
You know what? I understand not giving them free publicity. I understand not giving them, hey, you know what? We're publishing a title we can let sit for 5 years until you have proven that you can't make one fucking movie well.
Right, and we get it back.
And we get it back, or we buy it back, or we partner up with you
Yeah.
again. I think partnering up is the smartest thing that 20th Century Fox could do. They've proven they can make good X-Men movies, but for God's sakes, they're right there. I mean, if you can't make a good X-Men movie,
Yeah.
if you are unable to make a good X-Men movie, you suck. I mean, I could go out with my goddamn.
He's talking to you, Brett Ratner. He's talking to you.
Listen
Yeah.
up.
Actually,
Listen
I like
up,
that.
Brett.
We know you're listening.
Yeah.
I know, and you suck. So,
Plain and simple.
but if you couldn't do that, and look at First
Go
Class.
home.
Smart. You go back to the basics. Always go back to the basics. Go back to I mean, what is it the X-Men versus Magneto? No, it's Charles Xavier versus Magneto. That's the heart of it right there.
You know,
take notes.
Those first ones disappointed me so
Of course.
much.
Take notes out there.
I was growing up, that was like when I was like my earlier tween years to teen years. X-Men was like, I was all about it from the cartoons.
The cartoons.
Like, everything.
I just bought my wife the first season on Amazon.
animated series?
Of the animated series. I said, honey, I
Great
love you.
show.
Here you go.
Great theme.
That's
Great
of
theme.
course they stole it from Rod Stewart.
As they should have.
And why not? It was the 90s, for God's
90s
sake.
and cool. I think Rod Stewart.
Of course.
I don't know.
And I'm pretty sure that he and David Bowie, mutants. They both are mutants. So.
Agreed.
But if you can't make a good X-Men movie, you suck. And every single, take a look at all the really kick-ass Fantastic Four stories that are out there, and you can't make a good Fantastic Four movie, you suck too.
And you know, the truth, you got to remember, the Fantastic Four, on top of being a cool group with a great hook, their family, they also have really one of the best villains in all of comic bookdom. You know, like Doctor Doom is really point. He's such the uber villain. And you know, most of these movies and most comic book stories in general, I feel like, live or die by the quality of the villain. So how can you fumble that ball? It sticks to your hand. It's made of super glue, this fucking ball.
It's literally written for you.
Yeah, crazy.
Let's put it this way. It's so intertwined with the concept of the Fantastic Four anyway. I mean, he and Reed were rivals back in college. Their story goes back like years. So start from there.
Yeah.
Hey, look, it's Ryan Reynolds without a shirt on.
I was going to say it's not rocket science, but actually in a way it kind of is.
Yeah, it is.
You know, Fantastic Four is the one
science,
that is rocket science.
Yes,
It's mostly rocket
But
literally
you
is.
can do it, and you don't even. I love the concept of Doctor Doom. He's great, but they have such a great rogues gallery anyway.
Absolutely. They have really the ultimate Marvel rogues gallery. You
Sure.
know? It's like, there's Galactus. We've got, I love Mole Man.
Yeah, well,
I have a lot of
let's put it this way:
Mole
Mole Man's going to be kind of tough, but yes, you can use him. You've got the Super Skrull.
Totally.
You've got this. You've got the entire Skrull race that hates the
Do they?
Fantastic
I wonder.
Four.
Do they? I guess they have.
No, it's
I guess
not.
they have to have rights to the scroll, huh?
They're not. No scroll. No scroll. I read that Scroll can't be in Guardians of the Galaxy because it's still owned by Fox.
I heard the same thing.
Yeah.
That's why they're
people are pissed off.
They're the
That's the
Chitauri in
Chitauri.
people
I
are,
got it.
people are
Blame-
not happy about that.
Blame Marvel for making a bad deal. And
No, you blame Stan Lee for making
All right,
a
we'll
bad
blame-
deal. I was back in the late '80s, early '90s.
one of Stanley's rare missteps.
No, he misstepped a lot in the '70s.
Yeah.
And God bless him. I love Stan, but he was making them money when there was no money to be made.
Right.
So
Kept it. I mean, if you think about it, if it was between that and there not being a Marvel anymore, I mean,
Yeah.
could you
Yeah.
say it was a bad move?
no, you can't.
If
That's
you were
what I
in,
said.
If you were in his shoes, you know what else would you have done?
Yeah. And hey.
But like in hindsight, hindsight's 2020.
Yeah.
Like,
So let the Fantastic Four have the scroll. That's fine. Maybe they'll do something cool with it.
I mean, there's so many.
don't think they will, but that'd be. They still have the rights to the Silver Surfer and Galactus. How about you make him a purple freaking?
Yeah.
He's got the disco suit.
Purple guy with the Pope hat on.
Yeah.
What's so complicated about that?
There's absolutely nothing complicated
He eats a
about it.
planet like
make
a
him a
motherfucking
cloud.
hamburger. Yeah.
I'm so looking forward to the Ant-Man movie. Anybody?
I am.
I don't know what to think about it because
I'm
it's,
on board.
it's so mixed. Like every trailer I see is like a different movie. It's like previewing a different movie. I have no idea what I'm going to see. But
They're messing with you on purpose.
it's like I don't think Marvel
I think
has
they're
really
trying
swung a strike yet on one of their movies. There've been a couple of strikes, but
I'm the most cynical probably about these movies of anybody here. Like I'm
you are.
I'm the hardest to convince
true,
about
you
to
are.
go see
Sure.
them. But I could not have less faith in Ant-Man.
Really?
It just looks, and it could be the advertising. It looks like forgive me, I have not seen it. I really don't know. I have not read the script. It looks like the worst combination of all over the place and super normal. That's the thing. And I love Paul Rudd. I think that most Ant-Men through the ages are super interesting and story worthy. You know, I'm as interested in Yellow Jacket as I am in Ant-Man.
Right.
I even like the trailer moment with the Thomas the Tank Engine falling down.
Right.
That's a win.
That's
a
great,
win.
But it was so out of place.
There's something, here's the thing, and I don't want to just spout like, oh, I don't feel like I'm going to like it. Here's the thing that worries me. It's doing that thing. It's doing the Ant-Man's doing the thing that it's doing in Guardians of the Galaxy. They're clearly a little bit self-aware. Like there are these moments in the trailer where Paul Rudd is like, yeah, I didn't pick the name. What are you going to do? Like this kind of like, I forget exactly what the line is, but it's like, I need you to be the Ant-Man. Yeah, it's too late to change the name. It's a funny gag, but there's a very thin line between making fun of the dopey parts of Ant-Man and then actually just making your movie explain to people why Ant-Man is kind of boring. Like, it's a dangerous, dangerous thing. If they thread that needle, it's going to be really, really impressive.
I think they can, and I think that
They totally
picked
can.
they picked the two guys who can do it. I think that I was a little bit, I can't say upset because I really wasn't, but hesitant when they're like, Hank Pym, Michael Douglas. I'm like, Michael Douglas. I mean, dude's like 80 years old, and I'm amazed that fucking Kirk Douglas is still alive at 2,000, 3,000 years old. I forget how old, but
Listen, when 900 years old you reach.
Yeah, exactly.
all right,
See what you did there.
point taken. But I'm just, I was like, oh my god, and Ultron is created by Tony Stark,
Which I don't
and
mind that. That's good. I mean,
If you're gonna do a conceit, but I was like, come on. But then you find out that Hank Pym actually was a contemporary of Howard Stark, which
they're tying it together.
they're tying it together. I got it.
They can.
And
They can do some justice
Evangeline
with the
Lilly
backstory.
is in there, and I'm like, woohoo! All right, cool.
That's all it takes is a hot
Yeah, that was
chick.
it.
And, the hot chick from Lost, and you're good.
I know we have so much. We haven't seen each other in so fucking long, guys. Holy shit, we have so much to catch up on.
The Hobbit. She was
but-
the hot chick from The Hobbit.
Yeah. When I was watching Avengers 2,
Yes.
when I was watching Age of Ultron, I really started to feel like the Marvel movies have become the weirdest TV show around because like they're all connected. They're all connected.
Episodic.
Yeah, well, but yeah, exactly. It's like a sitcom though, because like they don't actually follow each other, except kind of, sort of, once in a
Sure.
while. They're like vaguely disconnected, but they all got the same thing going on. Some of them are serious, some of them are sort of the funny episodes. Some of them
Tonight on Marvel.
a little bit, and like, but they're tying them together enough. They spend a lot of time tethering these things together. So the one thing that I really do feel confident about at this point is that Ant-Man is going to be woven in to all the other parts of this universe.
Oh, yeah.
in a way that has a plan.
Is he in Civil War?
Yeah, he's going to be in Civil War.
Yeah. So all this
It's
is,
like Avengers 3. It's crazy.
I have given up trying to keep track of who stays, who goes. I felt like the Age of Ultron ended with every character getting like the option to opt out of their contract. It was really like
Yeah, pretty much.
everyone like half drove off into the sunset.
Right.
And then like
Vision was
But they
sick,
did this.
though.
Yeah,
he was
Vision
great.
was sick.
I love Paul Bettany. I love that
I don't
actor.
care what anybody says. That was like I almost got out of my seat. I was so excited
Yeah.
with that outfit and
good.
everything.
They, but
Look how excited you are.
yes,
I did.
You're like
I-
talking about Paul Bettany.
Guys,
I was great. I thought I was like so excited to
The
see
Vision's
the Vision
hot.
finally.
Kari
like,
perks up.
I know. I get all excited. I thought
was
he did
good.
such a great job.
it takes a real man, artificial man, to pick up Thor's hammer. You know?
Like that's the parts of that movie that I enjoyed was like all that, like the little side banter here and there between the
Yeah, well, that's Joss Whedon. And Joss Whedon does say that the Ant-Man script was the best Marvel script he has yet read.
Oh,
He did say that.
Okay.
And that doesn't mean that that's the draft that got filmed.
you're right. But
But
that's-
he was like over the moon about it.
That's coming from a bona fide writer, bona
Exactly.
fide creator.
I'm hoping
so,
it's good.
Yeah.
yeah, but he's also the one who the only line he had in X-Men that made it, the very first one, was you know what happens to a toad when it gets struck by lightning.
That's Joss Whedon's
That
line?
was the only Joss Whedon line that made it into that.
Same on you.
Yes,
You
I
can't hit a
know.
home run every swing.
Yeah, that's true. But, that,
It's like that book of crappy
Yeah.
superheroes.
but I do think that, you know what happens to a toad when it gets struck by lightning, the same thing that happens to everything else. That line is one of the worst lines in the history of film. I really do believe that.
Yes.
I really do like
Oh, come on.
I really
No,
do.
it's pretty bad.
It is. It belongs on a gag reel. It belongs. There should be a special Razzie Award just for that line, like a lifetime achievement award.
I was talking to Brian Johnson. He
you
was
bleed?
Were you talking to Brian Johnson?
talking to Brian Johnson this week, and I think there was a Turtles animated movie that came out a couple years ago, and somehow he got contract to write jokes for it. Like, will you write some jokes for it? So usually when you do, you as a writer, I don't know if you've gotten any gigs like this, but they're like, we need them tomorrow. So most grizzled writers would come up with like a page of jokes. He did 30. 30 pages, not 30 jokes. He wrote 30 pages.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean
And so
to
when the studio read it was like, is this guy on drugs? Like, what the? They thought it was a
And
joke.
then Brian Johnson finally came out and admitted he was on drugs. So
Yeah, they thought it was a joke. They're like, this guy's clearly screwing with us, right? No way, nobody submits 30 pages of jokes. It's usually submit 1 or 2. So out of that 30, they used 1 joke in there, and it was one that was so throwaway. that I can't even. He doesn't even remember what it was. So what I'm saying is maybe the same thing happened to Josh. He had a whole page.
you know what happens to a turtle when it's struck by lightning?
And they chose
Same thing
that
that
one.
happens
He
to a
didn't,
frog.
it wasn't his best, but it was the one that they chose off the page.
No, listen. I'm not making fun of the guy, but I am making fun of the line.
Okay.
And you know what? This thing happens. I think that inevitably, if you're just throwing shit at the wall to see what sticks, and you're deep in a movie and you're trying to find lines that just work, you're gonna miss. You're gonna miss, and you do the right thing and you cut those fucking lines out of the movie.
Sure.
And it might have also
Do the
been
right thing, Josh.
Well, actually,
I love Hold On to
That's
Your
my
Butts.
favorite. One of my favorite lines. Is some people hate that line. But it's one of my favorites.
Yeah, see,
Hold on.
so it's all relative.
Hold On to Your Butts is classic.
Classic.
You know?
Oh, so great.
One of my favorite lines
It's a dopey line, but it's
hold on
charming.
to your butts. Where is that from?
Jurassic Park.
It's in Jurassic Park.
Samuel
Samuel L.
Jackson.
Jackson.
Hold on to your butts.
Blech.
Yeah.
It's like, or hold on to your potatoes. Hold on to your potatoes.
That's great too.
No,
That's a
it's
great
I'll
line
never
too.
forget
It
that
is.
one.
That's a great
Or
one.
Samuel L.
That's great one. Indiana Jones Temple of Doom.
Yeah, that's a great short round line.
horrible.
It is.
Yeah, but the problem is those lines are truly throwaway lines. Maybe the actor nails it. Maybe the actor doesn't. The problem with the Toad line is that it aspires
thought
to a
about this.
certain wit. It aspires. The problem is that it's one thing to like say a line
really
that a
grind
character is
your
going to
gears.
say. Oh man, listen, I know because I feel this way because I have failed in this way a million times. So I know how bad writing can go, and this is where it goes, where you think you've got to put something witty there, and so you work in a way. So you make a line the way the line's supposed to be made. It's got a punchline. It's
You
got a
should
nice.
see the sneer on his face, by the way, for those listening.
Oh, they
You should
will.
see the
You should
sneer
go
on
on
his
the
face.
YouTube.
It burns me up, man.
Well, hey, I get it. I understand. And yeah, you want to be pithy. You want to be funny. And you know what? I personally think that whole thing is taken out of context.
It is.
I think it should have been a much larger piece and probably part of a grander, speech that Storm gives. And they're like, well, let's cut it all off and
anything would
Give
help.
her a frog
Anything would-
fixation.
Anything would, yeah.
Toad. My frog, Toad.
I don't think a backstory is what's missing from this line.
No, we can make it work. The line isn't what's the problem.
No, it's not.
the
It's
build-up.
not towards Ray Park.
It's
No.
taken out of it's taken out of context.
Yeah, we need to build it
yeah,
up.
yeah,
Take it out of
yeah. I'm
context.
sure the prequel will make this line much better. I'm sure. That
Yes,
once they-
Apocalypse will be much. You
You
know what?
had 30 pages of backstory for that line, along with the joke.
Apocalypse will say, only the strong survive. Toad, you're done.
Apocalypse was always my favorite villain and probably my favorite Marvel character.
Okay.
Yeah, I was always.
Well, good thing because
One
you're
of
going
my
to be seeing him soon.
Well,
Yeah.
you know, the. So I'm really curious. It's an impossible standard for me to actually like enjoy this next X-Men movie because I have just too much of my childhood is tethered to what I think of Apocalypse. But I do think the animated series did Apocalypse in an amazing way.
I remember
they were
enjoying that.
phenomenal. Yeah.
In an amazing way. Some of the lines in the animated series, that's great writing. Like there's a moment where Apocalypse reveals himself to be, I forget if he's Trask or somebody. He's somebody that's running the Sentinel program. And one of the mutant hating guys in the Sentinel program turns to him and is like, "Oh my God, you're a mutant!" in this like normal kid dialogue.
Yeah,
like
that was, like, spot
Yeah,
on.
like classic way.
That was, pretty
That's
much
pretty spot
exactly.
on.
But what's amazing, and then here comes Apocalypse. His fucking lines are written by William Shakespeare back from the grave. And he says, "I am as far beyond mutants as they are beyond you." That's a fucking great line. It takes chops to write a fucking line like that.
Wow,
These
who do
guys
we
were-
credit for this?
These guys, I mean, TV shows, there's a room full of people. You never know who said
Right.
what, but they're.
I give it
these
to
guys were
Joss
smart.
Whedon because he needed one, after that Toad line.
These guys were fucking smart.
No, you almost had the Apocalypse voice down too.
No,
Yes, you
line-
did.
His line's
that
perfect.
was
His
that
voice
was
is perfect.
No, that voice was very close.
We're
Yeah,
gonna
he
add
did that
like
very
freaking
well.
voice actor to your resume soon.
Yeah, we've got a spot for you. The Blues is doing film comics
Oh, that's right.
or motion comics.
That's
You're
right.
one of them filthy mutants.
That's right. I do a very terrible voice in that motion comic.
Did you
by the
really?
way. Yes, I play the game master. all three of them, I believe. So yeah, I've made my way through the first 2 issues.
Yeah.
Motion
Ming,
comics are freaking me out.
Ming has finally made it.
I have. If you
Hey, thanks for the invite, boys. Appreciate
They
it.
didn't even tell me they were recording the voices.
Yeah, nobody
on
asked
my
me
own.
to do a voice.
Yeah.
yeah, and you'd be perfect. I'm saying if you just want to imagine me screaming like a madman into a microphone in the back of a dark comic book store, that's
You literally just did it here and then
Yes.
mailed them in the file.
Yes.
You son of a bitch.
So blame Tom for that one, Mike.
I blame Tom for everything.
Yeah.
In case I didn't mention it, fuck you, Tom.
Have you seen this accelerated motion comic?
No.
We love you, Tom.
It's
No, we don't. I think I just made that abundantly clear by that. Fuck you, Tom.
motion comics are a crazy thing. And,
Yes, they
they're-
are.
You know, it's such a weird hybrid experience between like watching a movie and reading a comic book.
Yeah.
I mean, the production of the accelerated motion comic is pretty amazing.
Ooh, I just got the rough cut for Anne Bonnie too.
Did you really?
Yeah.
No, really?
Yeah.
The Anne Bonnie one is done.
No. The rough cut for the first.
Oh, Anne Bonnie
half.
also.
I can see in my head there's like the map unfurling. You see like
Yeah,
the little
yeah.
boat with
Oh,
the
it's
little
so
like
good. I wish
the
I
little
could
big-
show
the
you.
X's and stuff.
Yeah, I wish I
man.
could show. I was going to show you guys before we started, but I'll show you after.
Yeah.
But it's great. I geek out. I must have watched it at least 40 or 50 times because it's my dream as a creator to have an animated series, and it's like one step closer to the fulfillment of
Anne
that.
Bonnie is such a perfect style, like
It's
a
real
drawing
animated.
style.
Yeah. My art style is based around looking
God,
like an
that's so
animation.
So 40 or 50 times, huh?
At least
Really?
I had it on. I downloaded it and I just put it on my video player and just had it on loop. I'm
I think
not
you
even
could have been
kidding,
doing a
like-
little thing, something a little more productive with that 40
no,
or
I was
50
working.
times.
No, I had.
Sure you were.
Okay.
sure.
So you were also drawing
working.
comic while you were
All right, great,
obsessively
yeah.
watching your own comic.
I was drawing
Planning
my comic
out
while
going to Comic
I'm a little bit of a
Cons.
narcissist.
You can't be your own best creator and your own best fan at the same time, Tim.
I'm not.
You have to pick one.
Well,
You have to pick one. Are you a
see, I'm
creator or a
big-
fan?
The music was.
You're
pretty
fired. You're fired.
good. The music was really good.
I love this, Tim. You're your own best inspiration. I love it.
No,
I love
no,
it. You
it's-
get inspired by yourself.
Yeah. Some people like Spielberg likes to watch Lawrence of Arabia before he makes a movie. Tim likes to read Anne Bonnie before he writes
Yeah,
a comic.
no, he watches Close Encounters.
Yeah.
He's like, damn, I'm good.
Yeah.
Damn, I'm good.
I hear Joss Whedon watches X-Men 1.
He just a one line.
No,
Just the one line,
not
just
to
up
charge
until
him up.
the
He just
end.
has
to
that
charge
scene.
him up. To charge him up.
That's awesome.
Yeah. You know,
And you know what? He got a full paycheck for that. So
Hey, listen, I never
God
begrudge a
bless
man.
him.
I never begrudge a man for getting a paycheck.
oh
from the
hell
Put
no.
it in my wiki.
Yeah. Listen.
Oh hell
Would
no.
not be ashamed
I'm
of
glad everyone has moved forward from this.
Hey, George
Except for
Clooney was on Facts of Life. Deal with it.
You know,
that's all that.
To bring it back around to the Fantastic Four, my one moment of genuine excitement was about the Fantastic Four as a movie was when it got floated around briefly in the days before the Jessica Alba
Yes.
version of the Fantastic Four that Steven Soderbergh was going to make a Fantastic Four movie with George Clooney as Mr. Fantastic, going with
He would have been.
the full gray hair. That was very close to happening.
He would have been good. That would have been the only time I had ever actually gone out and seen a George Clooney movie.
Ocean's 11, no.
No.
Well, I think he made.
I hate to say this. No, I saw Batman and Robin. Swore never to
Yeah,
watch
well.
another
Well, that'll
Clooney
do it.
movie.
That'll do it.
ever.
Is that really
That too,
Clooney's
I
fault
did-
though?
I saw it too.
no,
You can't really
never.
blame him for
he
that.
makes
Yeah,
all
you
the best
can.
jokes about it anyway.
No,
he makes
you
the
can.
funniest jokes
You can.
about it.
He killed the franchise.
Damn
Well,
you.
but hey, you know what?
Damn you,
if
Clooney.
if he didn't kill it like that, then you
Yeah.
wouldn't have the new movies.
Yeah, But to be honest with you, I'm not as big a fan as everybody
Me
else
neither,
is.
really. But The Dark Knight has a lot of special.
It's got
special
some
parts to it.
some.
Don't cry over killed babies.
Is that a quote?
I said it. It's a quote.
Is that just a sick thing that was in your head? Do you just
Seriously, I'm
do you just
disgusted
say
by
any
you,
sick?
Tim.
See, this is also a helpful writing exercise. Every day, say one sick thing. This is really it's really
got
helpful.
mine out of
It's
the
helpful. Yeah. So now Tim is clear. Now everything else he says is going to be funny and reasonable and not sociopathic.
Oh boy.
Hopefully, we can only hope.
I think that the new Batman movies managed to at least give us enough good that I don't hate the Schumacher movies for killing it. I still don't like those movies, but it taught people how to hit the reset button in an important way.
Ronnie says.
And now, I'm speaking now. Yeah,
no,
make
no,
it gospel. I hope someone's writing this down.
So he said.
I have one problem with that in the same way that I have a problem with them rebooting the Spider-Man franchise like so soon after. You don't need another origin story.
I agree with that. I agree with that.
Yeah,
so
just throw him in.
No, you don't need you don't. Yeah, throw him into the deep end of the
They
pool.
did it for Scarlet Witch and
You can.
shoot, what was
Pietro.
that guy?
Quicksilver.
Yeah, there's so many fast dudes. Quicksilver.
Yes.
They did that for them, and it turned out great.
I thought, yeah.
You know, they remember. You have to remember
Like
that
both versions of them.
the movie that really taught everyone how to make a superhero movie in Hollywood is the Tim Burton Batman, and that one is not an origin story. That one starts out with him already being Batman, and in fact,
There's a flashback.
there's a flashback
That's
at
it.
the climax of the movie where we
That's
realize
all you need.
that the Joker is the one who killed his parents.
That's all you need.
But it starts. It's like they did it. I mean, I know that Superman the movie came out before that, but it was a very different creature, superhero movie wise. But that movie, right from the beginning, they were like, you know what, Batman is Batman. He's around, and in fact, that movie is an origin story of the Joker.
Yeah.
Jack Nicholson gets the arc that most of these modern superhero movies will give to the hero.
The hero.
Yeah,
Yep.
and then the villain will just come in and try to mess everything up.
Exactly.
They flop
But
it,
that-
yeah.
flip it.
Yeah, but I'm just
Batman was really the one messing up Joker's day. He was the actual hero of that movie.
yeah,
For
exactly.
the Joker? Yeah.
Well, you should have
Joker
dropped
was
him in that thing, man. You should have dropped somebody in a pit
Anything
like
matched
that.
up with Prince music is okay in my book.
Yeah, there's lots of. Hey, listen, we can talk about Batman 1989 all day.
Yeah.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
yeah.
All
Oh,
day.
jeez.
I wish it was 1989 again.
You would party.
I would party and I would eat that cereal again. It'd be fresh out of the box this
Well,
time.
while we're on movie topics, if you don't mind if I segue, because I know you're dying to talk about Mad Max. How about that? Fury Road, right?
I haven't seen it.
You haven't seen it?
Have you guys talked about it at a?
no,
I've
we haven't seen it though. But we've been away.
I talked to Walt about it. He saw it. And Walt, you will not find a bigger Road Warrior fan than Walt.
He can't have liked it.
He didn't.
Of course,
No, he didn't hate it.
he can't have
But
possibly
he-
liked
which
it.
is
he's-
big.
It's
Big.
Yeah.
They didn't hate it.
Not hating it is big.
Well, and Ming, you haven't seen it either.
I've not.
Okay,
5
well,
stars.
and to be honest with you, I'm not going to. I mean, I'll probably see it on DVD. I don't really care. Not a huge Tom Hardy fan. Not that I hate him, but he's not.
It was
my-
a Charlize Theron movie.
All right, then if
It wasn't
it's
a Tom Hardy
Charlize Theron, I love her.
Oh,
I
man.
hate
Well,
the
there you
fact
go,
that
Mike.
she's dating Sean Penn. Does that
I think they're married. Oh, no, they're not.
even if they are,
They're all the way.
if they're
I think she's
married,
completely lost to you. That's
We'll
all I'm
forgive
saying.
her for that.
no, it's not
Charlize-
even it's not even a matter of her being lost to me because that's not a consideration, you know. But it's just like,
you have a
oh,
chance.
come on, no, I don't think so. But it's
She'll
like,
come
oh
around.
my
She'll come
god, what are you thinking? Seriously, it's Sean Penn.
He could be.
Didn't he duct tape his ex-wife Madonna to a chair? I'm pretty sure he did.
These are things I don't know. These are things I don't know.
Hollywood, man. Hollywood. This are the things I'm scared
Well,
for.
listen,
sounds
Ronnie,
like-
stay away
yeah,
from duct tape.
sounds like the
Yeah,
Charlize-
seriously.
I was Ronnie.
I don't do any meetings with chairs in them. No.
Although I've got to say, I
duct tape.
hated almost everything I've ever seen him in, except for one thing: The Secret Life of Walter Mitty.
Okay.
Sean Penn's in it?
Yeah, he plays the photographer.
Oh, I haven't seen that.
You're right. He was
that worth seeing, that
actually
movie?
okay in that.
He was.
Yeah.
He did not.
Is that
suck
movie
in
okay?
that.
That movie's okay?
I loved
I
it.
loved that movie.
Yeah?
So did I. I saw it in 3D IMAX.
That was very clever.
It was very well done. Even though it's, you can see it. You know what's coming.
Uh-huh.
And if
He has a
you
secret
being
life.
you being a very clever man, you'll be like, oh, it's blah. But he does. He's a guy. Ben Stiller is a guy who's in his head a lot. And
Yeah.
Adam Scott like fucks around with him, and then he comes in to shut down Life magazine. Is it Life magazine? It's Life
I
magazine.
think it's like
It is Life Magazine. I've seen the trailer.
And they're going out with a bang, and they're trying to find this one picture. And he's going looking for the picture, looking for the
negative.
photographer.
The negative goes missing.
Negative goes missing, and he takes it on. He's never done anything bold or ballsy in his life, except once. And he goes and he tries to be the hero to impress this girl, Kristen Wiig, that he likes.
And that's why you like Sean Penn.
No. That's no.
That's the only
No,
movie he was tolerable.
No, that's exactly. He was in it for about a minute and a half, and I didn't hate him for it.
Well, that's probably why. It's
a start.
It's hard to hate somebody after just 90 seconds.
Right.
So
Have you ever met me?
No, not for Mike. He's different.
No.
have we
I
known
didn't-
each other 90 seconds yet?
Yeah, we have. Oh, yes, we
am,
have.
Am I losing my luster?
Not at all. Not even close.
Okay, so all this to say, if you guys haven't seen Fury Road, we can't talk about it.
Okay.
But I will say this: I have watched it 3 times already
Wow, Ryan Porter liked it.
in theaters.
Ryan Porter liked
okay.
it.
There's no movie in my adult life that I can recall seeing 3 times.
Wow, Ryan Porter really liked it.
There is literally no movie.
Wow.
I can't even recall actually a movie that I've gone to see twice in the theater
I have.
I saw Ultron.
since Jurassic Park when I was a kid.
Amelie.
I saw Ultron.
twice.
You also saw Ultron twice?
Yeah.
Wow. Look at you.
Well, Julia didn't get to see it with us first time. I took the boys and Ming.
So was it a courtesy trip or were you eager to see it again?
You know what? I liked it. I didn't love it.
So
I
was a
liked
courtesy.
it. It was pretty much a courtesy. I liked it. I went in the second time thinking that maybe I went in with reservations. I wanted to find out what Jules thought about it, and she came out of the same thing as me. It's unfortunately it falls into that the formula thing. It's Avengers all over again, but instead of Loki and the Chitauri, you've got Ultron and his minions.
Yeah. It's so hard to do that movie because there are so many characters to like give fan service to, and I feel like they spend 90% of that movie doing the best they can to tell a story while also,
Setting up
throwing
the
up
pins.
the sequels and
Yep.
throwing out and tossing to all of the little spin-offs and all the other movies.
And to the Age of the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and
Yeah,
The
yeah.
backstories to characters they just
Exactly.
threw in.
Of course, and
I thought actually, the thought I kept having the whole time was, you've got to be some kind of fucking genius to hold all these balls in your head at the same time. Like there are so many different things going on in that movie. The fact that it's even coherent, I was pretty impressed by. As a movie, yeah, you know what, I got real bored real fast. But that has to be the hardest kind of movie to write. Something,
Just chaos.
It's just that you've got literally 10 other movies that you've got to sync up with that are happening at the same time. You've got a whole gigantic studio of executives that are going to give you all of their opinions. You've got the comic legacy before that. You've got legions of fans.
Right.
You've got all these big actor personalities that you've got to give their characters and their people their beats and their respect and everything like that. And it's got to be a movie.
Yeah, and you have to appeal to
Holy
dumb
shit.
people and children, so they want to come and watch it.
And
so.
smart people and old people.
It's
Crazy.
got to make sense chronologically, and it's got to sync to each other.
And hey, we can find it mediocre all day long, but it did make $4 gajillion.
$4 quadrillion.
$4 Gargledorf
I did
dollars.
not see that.
Quad
Yeah,
brilliant.
I did see Amelie
Gargadorf.
twice, though.
You saw what?
Amelie?
Amelie.
French film?
Amelie is a movie you should see twice. In the comfort of love of your home with loved
Nudity?
ones, maybe.
In the theater twice.
Nudity?
I don't think so. It's
No.
too cute.
Then screw it.
It's
Never
too
mind.
cute.
There's
It's
a
Sorry,
kid in that
yeah,
movie.
no,
Mike,
it's
there's
a
a kid in that
romantic-
movie,
it's
for
too cute.
God's
It's too
sake.
cute for nudity.
How the hell do I know?
God's sakes, man.
But Mike, if nudity is what you're after, don't go to the movies. We got the internet now.
Yeah.
All right, good deal.
They're
Game
throwing.
of
They're
Thrones.
shooting it out of a cannon. They're
We
shooting-
learned 2 weeks ago Mike pays for his porn, so that's a long story.
Dude, I paid for your porn. I bought him Avengers, the porn parody.
Support
Oh my god.
So yeah,
supporting the biz.
and the bastard still has not seen it.
well,
China as She-Hulk.
Listen, you've gotta, somebody does make this stuff. If you want,
yeah,
your porn,
Yeah,
then somebody's got to pay for it.
I talked to China this weekend, by the way.
China?
Yes,
What'd
the
she say?
actress. She was in Tokyo. I met her agent, and they were FaceTiming each other. And I got to say hi to her.
Like one night.
Was she naked? Was she like?
No, she was clothed. Like,
Okay.
Look, still
Yeah,
looks good.
I don't think. Just because she sometimes does get naked doesn't mean she's like that all the time.
Well,
just never
God
wears
damn
She
it!
was born like that.
That's true.
Technically speaking.
So I'm just saying, she's coming back. She's working on her comeback, and she will be at a con near us.
Excellent.
With us.
You mean is she? She's coming. She's making a comeback in the wrestling world. In what? In
just in the pop culture world.
pop culture world.
She's back.
Okay.
She's back. She's out of hibernation.
Yes, she's working her way out of hibernation. She's chilling in Japan right now. And she'll
So
be-
did she have a breakdown?
I couldn't say for certain. but-
Okay. Just wondering.
It would be very weird to just like pop over somebody's shoulder in a Skype call and just like start to throw
Hey,
out,
so
throw
what's
out the
going
tough
on?
questions.
Pretty
Yeah.
much, that's pretty much what I did. Well,
Are you
without the
nuts?
question, I said, "Hey, how's it going? How
You
you
like
doing?"
photobombed a Skype call and then
Yes, I
That
did.
is you're one of a kind, Ming. That's for damn sure.
Now, Grant, this is in the middle of a party atmosphere, but
why
it's-
is someone Skyping in the middle of
what was
a
it? Time differences, and she was about to go to bed or
She's known
something,
better.
and she had to talk. She was talking to her agent, who I
why
met.
it's good.
Really nice guy.
Moshi
Showing
Moshi.
off.
It's just look. It's global people with complicated lives. It's things I don't understand. Being invited to parties. These are
Sounds
things
like-
I don't
what is
understand.
that?
Sounds like showing off to
Yeah.
me.
I
I'm
don't-
going to go to this
I
party.
watch
and-
Sesame Street all
Yeah,
day.
I never get to go to the cool Skype parties.
Yeah. So all I'm saying, she's very nice. She made a comeback. Her agent also very nice. That's all I'm saying.
Pardon me,
Here,
Ronnie. Ming co-hosted.
Ronnie,
the
anytime
Skype
you want a
party.
Skype party, I got you.
You co-hosted the
Word.
Skype party.
Yes, he did
Yes, this weekend.
with Anemia.
I know anime. Yeah.
This
Cosplay,
weekend
right?
this
Yeah,
weekend there was a kind of
Very
awesome con in
talented.
Washington D.C.
Uh-huh.
They had an official after party. They asked if I would co-host this official after party. Of course, I said yes, and I did. and it
Of
was a
course
great.
you did.
And it was a great time.
So did you wear a tuxedo or something? Like, did
I
you?
did not.
How did you? How does one make themselves the host of a party at AwesomeCon?
Well, that's what I asked. They're like, would you? They asked me via email if I would co-host this party, and I was like, well, before I say yes,
velvet smoking jacket.
what do I have to do? Do I have to dress up? Do I have to perform a skit? Perhaps do I have to rap?
Wear
You know,
bunny
what-
slippers? Anything?
Yes. What would you like me to do? I have to dress like Hugh Hefner? I don't know. And they're like, we need to do two things. We need to show up and hang out with the people coming to the party, fans of yours, possibly, and to drink with them. And I
Which
gave
is
it.
what you were going to do anyway.
It's a tough job.
Yeah, dude.
I gave it about 48 hours of thought before. No, I committed right away. I said, of
48
course.
seconds of thought.
Little did they know I would have been at this party anyways. So as you know, but as I
Maybe
know-
Joke's on you.
I would be so confused if someone asked me to do that.
Co-host
I'd be
a
like,
party?
I'd just be like, is it a con? Is it like am I the fall guy? Like, are they setting me up? Like, why?
What's going on?
If everything's exactly the same, they just want to put my name on the invitation.
Yeah, it was very simple. Normally, these parties they have two cosplayers co-host
Yeah.
party. Two cosplayers and the public guy. And this time they're like, well,
Seems too easy.
Listen,
we'll grab one cosplayer, but let's grab someone who's not a cosplayer. And they chose me, so I'm very honored to do so.
I gotta get a cosplay together.
These are celebrity problems.
Oh yeah, these are definitely.
Did you get any moolah? Did you get any kickback? Anything?
I did just in fact, as we were talking, get paid for this gig. Yes,
Did you?
I did.
Very nice.
Another benefit of the internet.
yes.
All right, you'll tell me how much later because I'm curious. Because next time I get asked to do one of these things, there's going to be a price tag on it. So.
Yeah.
Well, Ming,
Talk to my agent.
It was. You can look up Brody Jenner's, party co-hosting gig. He also does these things, and you can figure out that kind of ballpark. That's all I'm saying.
Wow.
Or I wasn't making Kim
Guys.
Kardashian or Paris Hilton money yet, but you got to start small.
Yeah.
You do have to start
And
small.
you keep bumping up each other.
And if I'm not mistaken, you and I co-hosted a party. Where was that?
MegaCon in Orlando, Florida.
And we got no money.
No,
for
we got
that.
Jack.
We got
That's true. We got Jack.
We got Jack and shit.
Nobody has.
that.
Yeah, I even think we had to
yeah.
pay for our
Post
drinks
anything.
if I remember
And
correctly.
we did have to pay for our drinks.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, that was our fault. We didn't ask for anything.
Well,
so
we never get asked to host anything, so
Yeah, exactly.
I didn't know we were supposed
exactly.
to.
Yeah.
that was a cool party. There was a bunch of ravers.
Where?
it was. You were there. You were there.
MegaCon.
Oh yeah,
party.
It was all right.
Yeah, it was music, ravers.
Yeah, the
glow-
space theme.
glow sticks.
There was a cosplay contest in the middle of it. Yeah, it was cool.
You guys were hosting the cosplay contest.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, I think that inevitably, if you're in the party hosting business, sometimes you're just gonna like host a party,
Yeah.
like just like not sponsored or paid for or something
Right.
like that. So,
Right.
so you're seeding. Those free parties that you're hosting,
Sure.
you're just seeding the ground
Okay.
for future paydays.
Exactly. Which is that's how I considered it, Ronnie. That's how I justify it.
It's,
Yeah.
That
job wouldn't have
This is
happened
a
without
long-term investment.
Right. It is.
Ming,
It's just-
Ming, when you go to these parties, when you drink and you talk to these people and you hang out
Yeah.
and you jump off the roof into the pool and stuff like
Right.
that, that's professional development.
Oh, right. Yeah. I tell my
You're
wife.
broadening your character.
Yeah,
I tell my
exactly.
wife I'm working. I'm at work here.
Exactly. Yeah,
I'm at work
Yeah,
here.
you tell her that as you're screaming at the top of your lungs as you fall from the house into the pool.
Yeah, I am the Lizard King. I can do anything.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah. I'm a golden god.
I'm a golden god. Yes.
Johnny Knoxville.
China, watch me fly.
Johnny Knoxville probably jumped off the roof a couple times before he started getting paid for it.
Yeah, exactly. You don't just
gotta put yourself out there.
In fact, long after he started getting paid for it, he still did it just for the shits.
Yeah, you don't get paid right away.
Yeah.
But speaking of paying gigs,
Life
Oh, God.
lessons.
Blue Juice Comics.
Yeah, we better talk. We better talk about it.
Let's talk about us.
What's going on? What are you working on? What's coming up next? Wow, what
what's
do we have
next?
to look forward to?
We've got Momentum 1.
Momentum 1 is out, and Bonnie number 4 is coming out on the 10th.
Hold on, the Accelerators Momentum.
Yeah, exactly. Let's start at the beginning.
Okay, Ronnie Porter, you have the floor.
So the Accelerators is back, my friends. Those who have been wondering, those who have been waiting, we have begun
presents.
to release the second story arc of the Accelerators. The second story arc of the Accelerators is called Momentum. Wow! And it's coming out.
I'm so excited.
Month by month this year instead of last year we released every other month.
Yes.
Which was way easier for us to understand
Sure.
schedule wise.
Okay.
But you know what? People get lost a little bit. Like
do.
you release every other month. Like it's the wait can kill people. The excitement starts to dim down a little bit. So what we did this time is that we waited, until we had some of the issues in the can, and now we're releasing them May, June, July, August, and then
I can't wait.
the trade is going to be ready for New York Comic Con.
Wow. Okay.
So-
October.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's the actual trade, the actual second trade, the volume 2 is not going to be in stores until December. But the idea was that we were really backing out like our whole plan for both Ambani and for the Accelerators, so that we would land at New York Comic Con this year with stuff for everybody.
Smart.
Diligently keeping on schedule.
By the way,
Smart.
you have to be this smart and figure this stuff out. You have to be Tom Mum, not Tim Yates or Ronnie Porto.
Definitely not.
And that's where Tom Mum comes in.
Exactly.
The mind, the brain.
Yeah. So basically I had Tom send me the release schedule just so I could look at it as we were talking. The idea is that, every 2 weeks from May 20th, which is when Accelerators Momentum Volume 1 came out, or Momentum Issue 1 came out, all the way until the end of the summer, basically every 2 weeks you're going to be getting something from
Blue Juice Comics.
Okay.
So it's going to be, Ambani number 4 comes out June 10th.
Okay.
Then June 24th, Accelerators Momentum number 2 comes out.
Oversized issue.
Exactly. That one is so Accelerators Volume 2 Momentum, we're going to keep saying it like that, is it's a 4-issue arc, but we've got one basically double issue in there.
I have
So
one of 4.
yeah, so
That's good. It's the best one yet. Yeah.
yeah, so it's a lot of fun, as opposed to the first arc, which really we spent a lot of time in this one future, the Time Games, where
Right.
they are pulling people from different time periods
Yes.
and making them fight.
Brilliant.
The second arc of the Accelerators is really it's the core of the premise, which is the idea that these characters are stuck in the future with a time machine that only goes forward, and the only way that they can get out of whatever awful predicament they're in is to go forward again.
Wow.
And then go forward again.
Okay.
And then go forward again. So the idea of this arc is that every issue we're going to jump into a newer and sometimes many newer and stranger futures. And we're going to be feeling these guys getting further and further and further away, hoping that if they get far enough, they figure out a way to get back to where they started.
Hence the name Momentum.
Exactly.
One is great.
And they're pulling a Willy Wonka.
Thank you, my friend.
Can't wait for 2.
So there's a plan for, the idea with the Accelerators, and by the way, we're very pleased to announce that there is going to be a third arc. And in fact, that now we're basically, the Accelerators is getting to the point now where we're planning it as the sort of the long game. And the idea is that we're building it as a 5-arc series. And that each of these arcs,
Wow.
yeah, exactly, is gonna continue the story, all the way through until the 5th arc. The idea is that it's going to be a 25-issue series total.
Yeah.
And this world is eventually, of course, going to start to tie itself up, but it's going to keep getting bigger. We're going to keep, as opposed to the first arc where we're playing around in this crazy world, this crazy dystopian future, the Time Games. Now we are exploring new futures, and they're going further and further.
That's crazy.
And it's
dude.
going to keep happening. The next arc, the third arc, they're going to go of course, even further into the future, and we're really going to start to understand how this time travel works and what the rules are and what this has to do with Spats, who's sort of the little kid that's got kidnapped in the beginning and now is becoming the guy who seems to be at the center of all of this stuff. So we're having a lot of fun with time travel, and we're having a lot of fun with opening this story up as big as we can with a plan toward closing it in the 4th and 5th arcs. So basically, we're in the process right now of outlining
you guys
the rest of the series.
Got stuff mapped out to like 2020, basically.
Yeah, we've gone totally Marvel with this.
Yeah. We got
So this is the game.
Nickelodeon deals in the future.
This is great.
So yeah, and it's to me the fun is not just being able to make a comic book, which was great at first, but to be able to really turn it into a longer story. And to give it a shape, I really think about it at this point like a TV show. Like you want this stuff to be fun issue by issue on its own terms. But the deeper in people go, the fans that are excited about this and that want to keep reading this, I think you owe them a lot. You owe them you're making a promise basically when you start a story like this that it's going somewhere and that it's going to make sense and it's going to have a total shape and it's going to wrap itself up in a way.
That's very rare these days. I just want to bring up
a little bit.
Yeah,
too rare.
Most writers I don't care. They just kind of phone it in.
That's not really true. Although there's not so much creative control because this is yours. This is
exactly. Yeah.
It's not like this is somebody else's sandbox you're playing in.
Yeah, and I think that Tom. I was talking about it with Tom recently, and he put it in a very good light, which is that when you think about comics, they come in a couple different forms. You'll get your sort of graphic novel, compact story.
Sure.
You'll get your sort of limited series that has a shape to it, but that has a sort of a set end mark from the beginning. And then you've got your ongoings. You've got your perennial titles. You've got your superheroes. Your
they'll go on forever.
Your Batmans.
Exactly. They'll get killed off. Come back.
And to me, the most satisfying of those is that middle ground. Is when you're saying the same way that I like a TV show that knows where it's going, that has an end, that's not going to say we're going to do 20 seasons and see what happens. As much as I love The Simpsons, at some point, it's just more of the same. I love the idea, and this is the thing that so many TV shows are doing great now, and that lots of comics have done super well over the years, and my favorite comics do brilliantly, is to give you all the fun of a story that feels like it keeps getting bigger and that seems like it could go on forever, but then to get the satisfaction of that thing starting to take a shape and starting to resolve itself in ways that make you appreciate the older comics. I love the idea that 2 years from now, someone's going to look back on comics that we made last year and see that random details are there for a reason that
that come into play later on.
Exactly. And that's the fun of it. And that's the thing that turns, the sort of casual, let's make a comic book impulse into real storytelling. Now the idea that everything we're doing is going to be part of a larger plan. If we can pull that off, then I think that makes a much more satisfying comic book experience. So really, we're very aggressively right now talking about the outline and talking about the real shape of the story before we get back into writing the individual issues. So the idea is volume 3, we're going to start writing issues in July. That'll be the 11th individual comic issue, what would be issue 11, but it'll be, so arc 3 is gonna basically go into production this summer. And the idea is that we're going to do with that the same thing that we did this year, which is build up all those issues and then next year release them monthly, building up to either New York Comic Con or another Comic Con. We don't know exactly what the release schedule is going to be, but it's really, this is a great rhythm to be in with both the accelerators and with Anne Bonny, to feel like each year of production has a plan, and you've got a little bit of an end game
and you've got stuff in a can that you can have that little bit of a breather.
Totally.
That you're not right now. You're under a little bit of a time constraint
crunch. Yeah,
a bit.
It happens. Yeah. It happens to the best of us.
Oh, of course.
Well, the plan is we don't actually get a breather. The plan is to just keep producing constantly and then release faster than we can actually make them. So it's a breather from having books come out.
True. All right, let me put it to you this way.
Yeah,
it's a shell game that you guys are perpetuating against us, the comic readers.
Right.
And it's an illusion.
Yeah, we're taking a break. We're coming back strong.
Exactly.
Yeah, and but the tricky part with strategy is to figure out how can we release this in a way that keeps everybody maximally excited about Anne Bonny, and it keeps everybody maximally excited about the accelerators. Not just while it's coming out, but also in those off months. Mm-hmm. So the idea is if we push, get all that stuff out in a row, build up all the excitement of the series over the course of, say, 3 months or 5 months or 6 months, and then release the trade.
It's like 12 weeks
at the end of the year. Exactly. Yeah. You really get your season in. You really get your hot season of storytelling in, and then we go back into the trenches and make more comics. And for the sort of few months after that, the idea is to find ways to keep people excited. And if we get on top of it enough, if we start making the next Accelerator storyline this summer, then by the time the trade's out in September, we'll have new art to show people. We'll have excerpts of story. We'll have previews. We'll have all kinds of stuff that we can keep people interested in and psyched about, all through the winter.
You can tease
exactly
them.
Right, but I mean, basically, you're getting the trains rolling.
Oh yeah,
It ain't stopping.
Oh yeah, no, this thing is happening, and in fact, in some ways, it's happening even more intensely now that we know what the plan is.
Yeah.
Because especially when we were writing with the accelerators, at least when we were writing the first arc, those first 6 issues, we really didn't know. Is this going to be the end? Like, is Blue Juice going to be able to make this work?
Sure.
Are they going to be able to make money off of this?
Yeah.
Are they going to be able to distribute it right? And as all those pieces start to fall into place, get Diamond distribution, go to the cons.
Yeah, Comixology.
Exactly.
Fandom.
And then,
T-shirt sales.
Exactly. And then as they pick up another title, as Tim started to make Anne Bonny, and we start to really all understand that we're deep in this. We're going to keep making these for as long as we possibly can. Then the question stopped being, well, how do we make a comic, to begin with? The question becomes, exactly. Where are we taking it? Mm-hmm. So, and meanwhile, Anne Bonny is reaching the end of its first arc, in this same timeline. Right. So by the end of this summer, we're going to have the first completed arc of Anne Bonny, and, God's willing, we will have an Anne Bonny trade at New York Comic Con too. The idea is that if all of these waves crash together, then I think it's great for the
nautical. Yeah.
Sorry. I didn't even realize I was making an
nautical and Bonnie pirate themed.
No, but
good job.
If we all get to the finish line at the same time, then I think that you feel the groundswell, the excitement of the company. And Blue Juice has other stuff going out too. They have a children's book, Dudley, that's coming out. Yeah, exactly.
Gotta get that for my daughter.
They've got a horror anthology coming out called Growing Dark. There's other awesome stuff that they've got going on. So I think that the idea is to always have irons in the fire.
11 books this year.
Yeah,
we're gonna have 11 books out.
Wow, you guys are kicking ass.
Yeah,
now
it's crazy.
You talk about there's a new book every 2 weeks. In the back of my head, I'm thinking, poor Gavin P. Smith and Tim Yates adhering to these schedules.
Wait, hang on.
Tom Mum with a whip.
Yeah,
cracking it.
He's so
over your
mean to
head.
us.
Gavin, how
Save
are you?
us.
Gavin, Tim. Well, Gavin's not here, but Tim, how are you dealing with this?
Oh, I mean, we're living the dream. This is
no, really, really, you're amongst friends here. Is it Well, I mean, you were coming out monthly, anyways, right?
But
was it?
We were doing Anne Bonny quarterly, so I
quarterly.
was making
Okay, so how's it?
3 books a year.
While doing all the colors for the accelerators.
Yeah, basically,
I'm writing, drawing, inking, coloring, lettering.
You're doing everything.
I'm doing everything.
Yeah, I mean, how are you upright right now? Is what I'm saying. This is a lot of work.
Well, I'm not. I'm sitting.
Oh, right. How are you awake right now?
This is the first time he's been able to sit in how long, Tim? 6 months.
6
Thanks,
months.
Tom.
Yeah.
Tom
I draw
away
standing, or I'd fall asleep from exhaustion.
Tom took away his chair.
I talked to Gavin at C2E2 in Chicago about a month ago, and he hinted that he's.
Well, we had an unfortunate start to our marathon. We kind of went the tortoise and the hare route.
Okay.
We're slow and steady.
Sure.
We just went a little too slow.
It took a couple months to ramp up to full speed.
Well, no,
Okay.
yeah, we're like the turtle with the slow. He's just cranking up his engine.
Right.
He's gonna,
But now
he's
you're
gonna
sprinting.
zoom past that rabbit.
Now you're sprinting.
Yeah.
Well, we've talked to Wall.
But yeah, no, that was a. Sorry, I'm
He's
going
so
for the word.
incoherent.
Yeah,
He's so overworked he can't
Continue.
even talk. Well, we've talked to Wall, and he's expressed to us, illustration. You're in a good pace if you do it a page a day.
Yeah.
Page a day.
Oh, yeah.
So you have to color,
Well, for me,
illustrate,
a page
and
of
letter.
a page of what are you talking about? Like,
Illustrations.
Yeah, okay.
Illustrations.
No, a page of full pencils.
yeah,
Yeah, pencils. Pencils. I'm sorry. What's your schedule like?
Oh,
we have
that's
to do
not enough.
everything.
a page of pencils. I'm behind schedule. I've got to get. I think in the next book, if I get 2 pages of line art done, so pencils and inks, and then I think I can handle 3 pages of colors a day. I'll be good.
Holy
Day,
Christ.
all that?
Yeah.
A day?
Right.
All right. Well, I mean,
Well, I colored issue 7 of Accelerators in 6 days.
Well,
Holy crap, dude.
but I think that you understand. First of all, you've been doing colors for the Accelerators for long enough that I think you've got the rhythm of that down pat. No matter how you cut it, the Anne Bonny workload is exponentially
It's getting less.
bigger than that. But you're getting better at it, right?
Yeah. Well, I'm making less work for myself. Is what I'm realizing as I go on. Because in issue 1 of Anne Bonny, you look at some of the backgrounds. I'm zooming in like 1,000 times to draw a little dude a mile away in the city. Do I have an issue 1?
Which looks great, by the way.
Thank you.
But,
I appreciate it. And I proved to myself that I could draw these awesome backgrounds if I want to spend the time on it. But as I fell behind my schedule, I started realizing, well, I can't make every background super awesome. So I started just not drawing them. And now I have kind of like a few good backgrounds per book. Like if I establish a new scene, I'll do a good background. Then the scene's established and I start leaving open backgrounds and like kind of doing impressionistic, like painterly type stuff. And it's been saving a lot of time. So as I go on, I learn what I can do in the amount of time, to make it work.
Yeah, and I know there's a lot of art involved here, but the bottom line is that there are deadlines. There are really practical considerations. You've got to nobody cares about your beautiful comic book if you never finish it.
true.
So
Right.
it's the game.
Yeah. So I feel like I'm getting, even though I'm putting less detail in the books, I'm getting better at drawing, and it's showing in the in the character drawings that I have, and in the speed at which I do it. So you might look at some of the detail I have in this last book and say, well, he's not it doesn't have as much, but it took me half the time. So in essence, it's it's getting closer to where I need to be. And eventually I'll be drawing, the goal is to be able to draw a book with the detail of the first issue,
In the same amount of time.
in the same amount of time.
Yeah.
I'm just going to, I just got to get faster and better.
The more time you write, you draw the same characters.
Yeah.
Does that make
Absolutely,
you work
yeah.
faster and
yeah.
better?
Oh, yeah. Because when I first started, I had to struggle to make each face look the way I wanted to. And now when I draw a face, I've got the character kind of in my muscle memory, and the expressions come more naturally. So it's a learning process.
Damn, you're good.
Yeah.
It's inspiring though, dude. It's inspiring. All right. Well, I was just curious what the your workload and schedule.
Yeah.
are, and
It's the hardest thing I've ever done. I mean, it's not easy, but it's it's the dream. So it's what makes it
It is
possible.
freaking gorgeous, though, dude.
Yeah.
I don't know.
so
I
good.
mean, I just don't. There's no two ways around it. It's
Thank you,
you're
thank you.
freaking shading and all, and lighting, and illustration,
Thanks.
and even and lettering. It's pretty awesome.
Thank you.
So if you-
They're holding issue 4.
Yeah, I mean, if you've
handing out
you've
books.
not picked this up, you can get it here at James
Yeah.
Bob's Secret Stash. Just call us 732-758-0508.
Yeah.
We have the first 3, Mike.
Yes, you can also go on Comixology
Yep.
if you're one of those people.
Right. If you're if you're taking a dump and you want something good to read,
Yeah,
then just hit a button and buy it.
Tom wanted me to give you some advanced copies. I don't know how
Oh,
kosher
awesome.
that is
Cool.
to sell at the store, but I got a pack for you if you want to No.
Well, like everything we do it under the table. So,
But the
So if you want Ambani
says the
4,
pirate over there.
come to Jay.
oh, it is a
Silent
pirate
Bob's.
themed book, my friend.
That's true.
So,
You got that
so
right.
I mean, we're following the theme.
even if they don't sell these secret smuggled
The
copies,
secret smuggling
there are
copies.
still Ambani comes out
June
June
10th.
10th.
Yes. June
So
10th, you will
it's
get
right
it
around the corner.
at a
So
store
yeah,
near
June
you.
10th.
And
Exactly.
if the store near you does not have it, tell them.
Oh,
Yeah,
right.
what's
We don't
the
want
matter?
to
They will
get.
get
Yeah,
it.
we don't want to get busted by Diamond.
Yeah,
We
Yeah.
can't get busted by Diamond because we're not breaking street date.
Yeah,
Not on
exactly.
them.
Exactly.
Because we didn't get them from
okay.
them.
Okay.
So yeah, and then that's the game you got to play though, right? You got to play by their rules a little bit. Like,
Yes,
you've got-
very
yeah,
much
yeah,
so.
yeah, yeah.
Like somebody came in tonight and they're like, I want to buy this. I'm like, I can't sell it to you.
Hey, hold on. If I'm friends with the head of Diamond, are we cool now? Can we just start doing whatever we want?
No, I wouldn't take that chance.
Maybe
for
not
two
podcast
reasons.
about it.
Yeah.
Oh, oops. Okay,
Yeah, how
don't.
about that?
Steve,
Wink,
if you're,
wink.
Yeah, cut that out.
Steve, if you're listening, ignore that.
Yeah,
I
was only
I was
kidding.
kidding. I was joking around.
Yes, yeah, of course I was joking around. And Steve, I hope we become fast friends so I can break the rules like Ming over there.
Wink, wink.
Wink, wink.
Okay,
nudge,
well,
nudge.
all right, you
even
know
a
what?
wink in there.
We'll take them, but we won't break street date. How
We
about
will not break street
that? Yeah,
date, I
maybe
promise.
we'll not some. Maybe we'll give some out. As promo, as
Yeah,
promotion.
Yeah, if you guys are amenable to that.
But we do.
They buy 1, 2, and 3. We'll
You get
give
four.
them 4.
Early.
Oh, early.
Yeah, bam. All right.
We're not
done.
selling it.
No,
Yeah,
we ain't selling it.
Yeah.
No.
And this is, but the important thing is that, the Stash is a great lover of blue juice. So,
We are, yes. We're,
but
I
Blue Juice's
I
biggest
bleed
fan.
blue juice.
Yeah.
I drink blue
Ew,
juice.
that's gross.
I piss blue juice, and blue juice runs through my veins.
if you bleed blue juice, you should see a doctor.
Yeah, you're right.
He's a robot.
That one.
He's a robot. I knew it.
Cyborg.
Not bad for a human. Anyways, continue. I'm sorry. I didn't
No,
mean to
just
go.
that you got to remember that other stores, while they can order accelerators or Ambani from Diamond whenever they want, they need the fans to ask for it.
Yes.
So this is like, I know this is the part that Tom has been waiting for the whole time he's been listening to this
is
podcast.
important.
Hi, Tom.
Hi,
If you want to read the accelerators or Ambani, go to your store, go to your guys, tell them you want it. Tell them that accelerators came out in May. The accelerators Momentum number 1 came out in May. Tell them that Momentum number 2 comes out in June 24th. Tell them that Momentum number 3 comes out July 29th. Whatever. The point is, ask for it. Ask for Ambani. Ask for the accelerators, and they will get them for you.
Not only that, ask for the Accelerators Time Games trade paperback.
Yeah, these books are
It's
in
awesome because there's a really kick-ass forward on there.
Who wrote that again?
I forget.
wrote that again?
None
Yeah,
of them.
who ghost wrote it? Like,
I'm looking at him. He's like, yeah, it sounds like
yeah,
me.
it looks great. So these books are in Diamond. They have the Diamond order numbers.
Yes. Yeah.
They can. Any store can get these.
Any store can get these.
Even if it's after release date, you can.
Yeah.
You can
Well,
still
that's the
order
thing that Tom, I think that Blue Juice in general is really excited about, is the idea, especially with the trade, the idea that this is just money they can keep on making. That it's not like, issue number 1 of the accelerators, once you make the trade, then those single issues sort of are irrelevant now.
and they evaporate.
Exactly.
And not only that, but it's impossible to find them.
Exactly.
Because it's sold out at Diamond.
Exactly.
So if you want to get your hands on it,
Yeah, the only way, or you can call up Jay and Silent Bob Secret Stash.
We might have a couple left.
We do have, as a matter of fact, I think we have, pardon me. Whoops. Tom gave us a set of 1 through 6 signed by the entire creative
Yes.
team.
Don't sell those.
He told us to sell them.
those are for you.
That's for me?
Listen.
Then I'm keeping them. But no, there's
What you do
oh
with
my
your precious
God.
keepsakes?
Unless he literally
I
specifically
think
gave
he
those-
specifically
maybe-
gave them
maybe
to
he
us
wants you
to sell
yeah.
or to
Okay.
give away or something.
Yeah, because we've
I-
got packs of those at cons. The signature copies.
Well, I want to make sure that
Tom
you
never
guys have.
signed mine.
I want to make sure that you guys have good signature copies.
Oh, I
He
do.
specifically
I've
said
got
don't
mine.
sign
That's
Okay,
what
okay,
because
okay.
I tried to
And
steal the
we also
sign
have our,
at the con, remember?
Oh, you thief.
That was why you
Thieving
didn't sign my
thief.
copy, I think, because I tried to steal your billboard the first year of the con.
Yeah.
Evil woman.
Oh, that too.
But me and Ronnie are the kind of guys who would just give I just give stuff away.
We have done that.
Yeah, that's what we did at our first con.
When Tim and I are working a con together, very little gets sold, but very little merchandise comes home.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
We're so excited
the
about
best way to be.
our people having our stuff.
Exactly. Yeah. We just want to talk about this thing. That's why we really need like a perfect scenario is like Tim and I are at the con, but there's also like a babysitter for us, and then there's also like somebody actually selling comic books.
Yeah, you need that person. You guys are the hucksters. You're like the P.T. Barnums, if you will.
The Barkers.
Yes.
But we're the Barkers that don't know how to sell.
Well, that's why you have.
Ronnie has a way of doing it. I've never seen anybody do it like Ronnie. He will sell a book without ever mentioning a price for the book or that it's for sale. He will just talk to the person and they will buy the book from him.
They will just give him money.
They will just give him money.
Good man.
He'll flag them down. He'll get his hooks in them, and then they're done.
I'm in the friend making.
They'll even walk away. They'll even walk away, and he'll get them back. He'll say, "Where are you going? Hey,
are you
come back."
periscoping me?
Yeah, update here. Jerry Carita says, thanks for the invite, and fuck you, Tom. And Tom and but I also have Kari here. Say hello, Kari. We got Kari here. We are periscoping this. If you have not jumped on a periscope, I don't know where your head is.
I have
been.
no idea why you're periscoping this. Don't mess with our.
I was terrified to ask.
Yeah. Well,
Don't mess with. You keep messing us up, man, because you do this, and then people are like, I'm not going to listen.
Yeah, well, no, we're still talking. We're still talking about, but we're promoting Anne Bonny, the Blue Juice comic right here. We have the men from Blue Juice Comics here. Ronnie Porto,
I don't understand. Am I on a video? Am I in
Yates.
a still photo?
All of the above.
Mike Zapsik,
Just do
and special
everything at
guest.
once. I don't know.
Special guest Kari.
I'm hiding my face.
Are those people talking about it?
Yeah. See, well, Periscope is real quick here, Tim.
Are you famous?
Basically, this is a Periscope is an app that Twitter bought where you can initiate
Yes,
or
he's
watch
repping.
live broadcasts. We're rebroadcasting live, and I'm promoting your book, Anne Bonny, here from Blue Juice Comics. We have the men from Blue Juice Comics here.
This is so
Minus Tom Mom.
Anne Bonny, Pirates Magic Adventure. That's my pitch.
This podcast,
done.
this podcast is a fucking camera apocalypse. There are
I know.
cameras.
I just realized, are these actual cameras that
Yeah,
are?
you've been being watched.
Have I been on camera this whole time?
We got cameras all over
Welcome
the place.
to my
here.
hell.
You pick your nose, we see it.
We
I didn't.
saw
How's my
it.
hair?
We play it back,
Guys, how's my
We
motherfucker.
saw
hair?
everything.
Yeah.
Oh no! This whole time.
Now, this is a preview
not
copy
wearing
of
any
Anne Bonny
pants.
number 4. The Accelerators Momentum number 1 is out in stores right now. We're promoting.
Buy it.
We're promoting everything.
Buy the
here.
accelerators.
And
Quiet
get
is-
June 10th.
June 10th is Anne Bonny.
And Bonnie, and when
number
is
4.
when is
This is Accelerators
When is Accelerator
Momentum right
2?
here. Right here.
you said
24th? I wanna
the
say.
24th.
24.
That right there.
24th.
That right there is a good book. It's the best accelerators I've worked on. It's
Which one's that?
Number
eight-
2.
eight-
Everybody loves
the
8.
full size one. Gavin's art in
yeah.
that book. It was his
Yeah.
most rushed
Yeah.
book, and it's his best.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
his best. It's a phenomenon how
watched his
this
progress
works. The
on,
most
like,
rushed art is the
Some of the
best.
stuff he posted.
Yeah.
was awesome.
And
it's so good.
June
Amazing.
24th is
Yes, I'm looking.
it's
at
a
it
lot
right
of bang
here.
for your buck
great.
because it is
It's
it is an
oversized.
oversized issue. It's a big issue.
$4.99, but it's
Yeah.
well worth
Oh,
it.
yeah.
No,
It's
it's
money.
Oh, yeah.
it's overflowing. now.
money.
It's
well
Monet.
All right, available in Diamond right now.
Yeah, actually,
Fine,
yeah.
comic book stores everywhere.
Make sure you ask your comic book your comic book dealer, the week before it comes out.
Yeah,
At least.
exactly. Well, yeah, I mean, I think that in general, the way it works with with small books, you've just got to go there and tell them you want these things. One of the things I just learned is that I know we don't like to talk about Comixology too much on these
Right.
shows, but Comixology actually lets you subscribe now to titles, so you
Oh,
can
nice.
so you can subscribe if you're a Comixology guy.
We can talk about
girl.
Comixology. I have no problem with them as long as here's
as long as
the
it's
thing.
about the accelerators.
Delete
No,
your
no.
Comixology account. Go outside into the world and make friends.
No. Go Comixology, but seriously, Comixology has like hundreds of thousands of back issues that it's
Yeah.
hard to find. At
classics.
Yeah.
It's true, and
And stuff from creators who can't get their stuff.
exactly,
In stores.
exactly.
and it's also
what it's
easy
good
to,
for.
to grab and bring on an airplane with you.
Yeah, but that's why that's the genius of this new feature is that if you like a book, if you like a creator, you can subscribe to basically all their stuff. You can go and you can subscribe to the accelerators and to Anne Bonny, and it's now painless. Like it's just like having a pull list, at an actual store.
But it's better to have a pull list.
It is better to have a pull list. It's better to have a pull list because it's just like a friendly neighborhood bartender that you can go to when you are feeling blue. Okay?
It's true.
Your comic book dealer is your friend, is your confidant, is the person that can solve your life's problem.
He's your rabbi.
That's how I'm here right now.
Don't forget to
Hell
tip your
yes.
bartender.
That's
Yeah.
how we
Yeah.
became friends. So.
Your comic book dealer is giving you a holy right. Okay? You are going there for spiritual
Mazel
guidance.
tov.
It's just a fountain of wisdom.
Get thee to a comic book store.
Jerry Creator chimed in. Ryan, if you're wearing a Superman T-shirt under what you're wearing now, he will buy 20 copies.
Let's see it.
Yeah, let's see the shirt.
Let's see it.
I'm not wearing anything under here.
He's got no pants on.
These got to buy 40.
Matt Montalvo asks, how's Moltar?
She's great.
Kari is the mother of Moltar
she's
from season 4. Also,
doing
Jerry Creator loves the new haircut.
Thank you.
And,
Jerry, I'm sorry.
And,
I'm sorry it's not under there, but
Jerry, thank you. I think I did a good job too. My stylist was surprisingly gentle.
Yes, and last note, Fanboys Inc., you guys knocked issue 7 out of the park. So
my brothers. My brothers.
I sell comics, everybody.
Yeah, Fanboys Inc.
Fanboys Inc.
Cool.
DW.
All right, what else is going on? There's a children's book coming out. Are you know anything about this? Dudley
Ming?
Yes.
and the Toy Keeper's Chest. And
If you have a children,
I have a children.
yes.
grab that. And the motion. When are the motion comics coming out?
I have no idea. What is
Yeah,
the schedule
seriously.
on the
All right,
motion?
we'll talk to Mom about
You're
that.
the only person who knows about these motion comics, except for you, who
I know
love
that
it.
we don't know.
I know that I was not asked to do a voice, so again, fuck you, Tom.
There are more comics to come, so we can.
Yeah, come on. There's apparently there's a million books coming
yeah,
out.
I mean,
so-
and I don't know how.
True, but I don't think Tom's been like keeping me in reserve. So,
Well,
Tom,
I'm sure.
Tom.
I'm sure that Tom has already added you to his list.
you know the 2 words that are coming, Tom. You know what those 2 words are, Tom. You know it. I'm not going to say it.
You know, I think Mike will make a pretty good Firestorm. I'm not even lying.
Yeah, man.
He's got that deep, gravelly voice. Listen to him.
Firestorm.
Be careful what you wish for. Be careful what you wish for. Okay, you're gonna start a whole new life as a poorly paid voice actor.
Excellent. You know what?
It's gonna be Puck.
You know who follows me now? Maurice LaMarche.
What you see?
I'm telling you.
You're well on your way, Mike.
Yeah, it's happening. It's all coming together.
And Larry Kenny.
I can only assume that we have overstayed our welcome by an astonishing amount of time.
No, you guys haven't overstayed your welcome. It's just that I have to actually grab my kids and put them to bed tonight.
My daughter too.
Yeah, I know you.
Okay.
So
poor Kari's like, I'm the worst mother ever. I left poor Moltar with, and we call her Maltar.
I just
you know?
leave her everywhere.
So we've really endangered multiple parent-child relationships
Right.
over the course of this
my
podcast.
parents
In the name of comics, so it's okay.
Ming's parenting skills are always called into question.
My coffee's empty, so that's why
There you go.
right now.
Yeah, well,
And Rob Bruce is probably waiting and lying in wait out.
He's passed out behind the locked door.
Right.
He's passed out. So Blue Juice, thank you for coming down.
Yeah, guys, thank you so
Ronnie
much.
Porto,
friends.
Kari,
You're
thank
the
you for
best.
being
Kari,
here.
thank you.
My pleasure.
To
Ming,
break up the sausage fest.
always
Thank
a
you very
pleasure.
much.
Tom, Mom, 2 words.
Good day, sir. 3 words.
Miss
Bye,
you.
friends.
There's my 2.
Yes, and
There you go.
This has been a production of Smodco Internet Radio. Sir, only at smodcast.com.